if you look at it, guys, technology is peaked. And that's why we're going to the next level, and the next level is what? We're handing everything over to the next person that is going to evolve and take it to the next level because I feel like we've peaked
As a
as a human
civilization.
race. Yeah, as a human race, we've peaked. Invention, what invention have we done in the last 20 years that you say, oh wow, we invented XYZ? Everything is built on what has been invented already.
True. That one is
The internet. The internet is not even 20 years. The internet is when? The internet is what? Like 90s, like late 80s, early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was a version of it that was not used for commercial purpose. So
Yeah, we're
Yes.
talking about we always talk about
Okay.
tech from the commercial point.
commercial.
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Bluetooth that we're all proud of. Oh, Bluetooth came in the 90s. No, there was Bluetooth in World War II.
Yeah, that's what they used to communicate in World War II.
It was just, military grade, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking like, okay, what is it? Is it the microphone? No.
Don't worry. Somebody will invent. What's that thing they show in sci-fi movies? Teleportation
Now you're talking.
and time travel.
Now you are talking. Once they invent teleportation, where they can move
Objects,
our
human
body,
beings.
because our body is just solid state, right? Like if you look
Yeah.
at it, there are three states: solid, liquid, and
gas.
gas. Thank you, Steve. No, you do science because I don't do science now.
I did
yeah.
actually. I actually did.
And so if you look at it, right?
Attention,
Yeah, if you look at it, right, like if you move like from one matter to the other, solid state is the frequency or like the composition of our body is not moving as fast as possible. That's why it's all like fixed, right? Same thing like
Yeah.
if you look at your table, right? That's basically it, right? So
Yeah.
can you build it to the point where the thing becomes a bit formless into like almost liquid state?
Well, that
You
will
have to
be
apply heat to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, I'm enjoying this my science thing, right? I'm enjoying the time travel. Time travel is beautiful. I think I've watched almost every time travel show that exists. Almost every
That's
time
funny
travel show.
because yesterday on my IPTV, I almost started watching the Denzel on. I've forgotten the title.
Deja
Denzel has
Vu.
one where Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
Yeah.
I don't like that
Deja Vu
film.
is good.
I don't
You don't
like
like
it.
Deja Vu?
I don't like it that much. I
No,
started it
for-
and I'm like, why am I watching Deja Vu again? Then I think I went to sleep or something.
For an actor like Denzel, I don't think he's one of his greatest works. I just feel so.
It was in that 2000s era, when
And
they
he's
were
not a
doing all
sci-fi
those
guy.
movies. Yeah.
And he's not a sci-fi guy because he
But
had
I
done a
enjoyed
sci-fi
it.
movie before that, and he
Which
flopped
one?
too. So I don't think I've forgotten the name. So it's like Matrix before Matrix. Funny enough, I'm trying to look for the name. It was like 96, 97. But
Funny
people are
enough, like
"Oh,
a few weeks ago, I
continue."
watched Deja Vu with my kids actually. Like we all watched
okay.
Deja Vu together. Yeah, I like anything time travel, sign me up. And my entry into this was
Of course, it's only
Tom
has to be
Cruise.
one film.
Yeah,
Oh, is it that
Minority
one?
Report. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Tom Cruise's. It wasn't Total Recall. When I watched Total Recall, I was very young, so I didn't
Total Recall is too
understand.
hardcore now.
Yeah, I think the allure of Total Recall, like what they were wearing, or the woman
Arnold.
with three boobs. Yeah, Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold,
Or the
So
woman
that
with
Sharon
three
the woman
boobs
with
in
three boobs
space.
is my favorite scene from. Have I ever told you?
No, it's
God
everybody's
damn! I
favorite
wish
scene.
I had them.
It's
I wish I
everybody's
had
favorite
three
scene.
hands.
Bro, it was everybody's favorite scene. Like,
Yeah,
this is the point of the film now.
No, funny enough, that's not my favorite scene in the movie.
There was
My
a
favorite
remake.
scene in
Did anybody watch the remake?
Colin Farrell.
No,
It wasn't
nah,
really
I
Colin
don't
Farrell,
think
yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Funny enough, the scene for me in Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recall, like the iconic scene for me is where he's running through the X-ray.
Yeah,
that was a dope part too.
That was a dope one too.
That is an iconic scene. And then the guy they are shooting and the thing is, but he runs through it. Like that's an iconic scene for me personally.
Do you know my time travel best movies? The best movies for time traveling.
Me, which one?
Speaking of Arnold, Terminator 1 and 2. Bruh.
That's good.
That's some hardcore shit.
That's
right
good.
There. Actually,
but people from our age group prefer Terminator 2 because Terminator 1 came out in what, 87?
Yeah. So we were catching up. But when 2 landed, and that guy was walking through
Yeah.
the bars, the new Terminator was walking through the metal bars. I
Nah,
said,
it's
okay, it's
crazy.
all bets are off. Then the
Yeah.
one that kids should watch, which everybody will love, anyway, is a family movie, but it's a classic. Back to Future series. Just gonna watch 1, 2, and 3, man.
Michael
That
J.
is
Fox.
Michael J. Fox at his prime. That is a
Yeah.
great time travel
Back to
movie.
the Future is great. Like those were the movies that really introduced me to it. But I think the one that really got me hooked into like time travel is funny enough is Minority Report. Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom Cruise,
Tom
yeah.
Cruise.
I watch the movie
Batman.
once every year. By the
Oh,
way, as
for
a
real?
ritual. Yes, every year I
Oh,
must watch the movie every
I
year.
have a movie that I watch every year too, Sha. But
Yeah,
it's not
which movie is that?
Training Day, obviously.
Okay, Training Day is good.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I watch Training Day every year too. Same.
Yeah, Training Day is
Same.
good. Yeah, but for me, it's Minority Report because the time travel there was a bit different. It was like a bit into time, they could see it, and then I mean, for people who have watched Minority Reports, it's quite simple, right? They foresee when the crime is about to
What to
happen,
happen? Yeah.
and then they stop the crime by arresting the person before the crime actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
And when things now get shaky is when the head of police who stops people from committing crimes is when he is also foreseen to have
Commit a
to
crime.
have committed a crime, and then the whole craze. Funny also, I was listening to like the Rewatchers, and that's the one I was listening to. The Rewatchers is a podcast where they break down movies and they just talk through the movies and all of that. And Steve was thinking that I just signed up to the podcast, and I said that's assumption bias
But you
because
know that's like my favorite network podcast. Like apart from Global Village, The Ringer. Like I love The
no,
Ringer a lot.
the ringer is the
I listen
The
to
ringer
Ringer
about
is mad.
is
4 podcasts from that network. The Bill Simmons network, the Plain English,
yeah.
the Rewatchable, and one other. Like I listened to I think 4 from that network. And Ryan Resilo is the sports guy, right? He has his own podcast. So I listen to Ryan Resilo, I listen to B. Simmons, I listen to the Plain English is one of my favorite podcasts. I've introduced you to it, but I'm not sure
Yeah, I
you've
haven't
you
checked it
follow.
out yet.
Yeah, you haven't
Yeah.
checked it out. Yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening to. So I picked the movies I know I listen to with the rewatchables, but
Yeah.
I'm listening to their review of Die Hard 3, I
Yeah.
believe, that has
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson on it, a young Samuel L. Jackson.
Has he ever been young?
Rewatchable is the music in time of movies. Do you know now?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Although
That's why I
they kind
like
of
it.
just move out of scope of the movie at times, which kind of annoys me, and not
True.
focus on like scene, but they don't do like the storytelling scene by scene. This is what happens. They move out of scope a lot,
The
but it's also
concept of
good.
the movie, and yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess it is what it is, and all of that. But yeah, man, I love to just watch things like that and enjoy myself because I'm always on move or yeah work, and everything. But time travel, Netflix has some really good time travel series, right? They have one called The Travelers. Oh my God, it's really good. The Travelers, right? These guys come from the future. The future is messed up, right? So
Yeah.
they're fighting against like machines, almost like Terminator, but not really. But we don't see what's happening in future. They never take us there. But they come back to solve some problems so that but they pick the problems they solve because they understand this you know what is the butterfly effect, right?
Yeah.
So the problems they solve, they don't just go and solve like all the problems. They pick particular problems. So they have to take out some particular people that invent something, things like that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's very realistic, but how they come back is they come back through other people's body. So if someone
Oh,
is like has cancer and has like maybe 6 hours to live, right? And at the point where the person is about to die, they
yeah.
take over the person's
Body.
consciousness. Yes.
Okay.
So it's not random. They take over the person's consciousness. Maybe someone, the car was about to hit someone, and they've seen in the future that car also they just say, oh, 19 in 2005, so person was about to cross the road when the car hit the person. So they target that person at that very moment, and then they take over that person's life, and then they start doing whatever they need to do. So they
Nice.
do
Nice.
that, then they locate themselves in that community, and then they start, talking and everything. Then there's one guy who memorized all the game plays, all the sports results in his brain. That was his job. So he
Shout out
plays
to Back to
bets.
Future.
You
Yeah.
understand? So he plays all the bets, and that's how they make money to run their operation. So it's very
Hmm?
realistic, you know.
Yeah.
And then all the dynamics happen, right? Which is okay. There was a guy who works in the police station. He's like a head investigator. He was about to die. Someone took over his spirit, but he has a wife. Now his relationship with the woman is different because he doesn't know the woman. So they had sex, and the woman was like, "Oh, you were very different." Do you understand? You have to now
It's
live in that dynamic. Yeah.
very
So
Black
imagine
Mirrorish.
you going back to someone's to like your in quotes now your family house and your wife says, "Oh, can you make tea for me?" And then you put sugar, but you're always like, I don't take sugar. Like you have to go through all of that learning, but still code yourself enough to know that you're not, and for your wife not to know that you are someone different.
Yeah,
So that
different.
dynamic is happening as well. Then of course there are all the other classics like Westworld, etc. etc. Anyways,
Shout out to white people for creating sci-fi.
who said white people created sci-fi?
The movie now. I mean the genre.
How do you know it's white people that created the genre of
Okay, I'm waiting
sci-fi?
for. Okay, maybe Abijah. We don't know.
Who created
Maybe
who
Abijah.
created it? Who
I
created
have,
it?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm
okay. So why are you
crediting.
not questioning us or Ayo's points?
Yeah, because I said shout out to the white people that created sci-fi, and I asked, why? How do you know it's white people that created sci-fi?
Because now then start film. Uh-huh.
How do you know that they started film?
I studied that one in school. Now, Alba. So they do alternative history. Yeah.
Bro, I was watching I saw a video clip of a former slave owner, I think in 1908. Bro, it was so clear. Almost as clear as NTA of today. I was so mad when I saw it. Like,
I don't know if
I was so mad.
I don't know if that's an insult or that's like
If I'm the DJ of NTA, I will take it.
I was so mad. I was so mad when I saw that clip, man. I'm like, man, 1908.
1908 is not that far.
It's not that far, to be very honest. But
time is a funny thing in our minds. That's the thing.
One of the things that gets me depressed, especially about Nigeria, is like watching like pop culture moments of like the 1970s and 1980s, and how advanced they still are, like compared to what we do in Nigeria right now. Like you watch Super Bowl performances of 1985, and it's not something that we can pull off to this moment, like at this moment in time in Nigeria.
We did Nigeria 99. Like, you didn't like the calisthenics.
Fuck out of here.
Putting children under hot sun, giving them coke and meat pie. See, if Nigeria ever hosts anything again, if I see calisthenics, I'm going to beat somebody. I hate that shit. So whack.
Oh, man.
Imagine Nigeria hosting the Olympics.
Nah, we don't.
Nigeria
we don't
it's not. Bro, Nigeria 99 that we hosted.
Nepa took lights.
Nepa took lights.
Yeah, Nepa took lights. It is a miracle that the competition.
Yeah, but that was 99 too. I think kind of like 99 was like a very critical moment in our time. Yeah, optimistic year. People were very optimistic.
What year 99 the Nigeria 99 host? Because I'm trying to know.
May, started in May.
Okay, so
it started around Easter or so. I can't. Yeah, it started around Easter. Please confirm, Osagie.
Yeah.
I don't know
Easter. I think. I think it was around Easter. That's Nigeria. The first game 1-1. Nigeria's first game 1-1 in Lagos.
Okay, for people who don't know what we are talking about, we are talking about the 1999 FIFA World Youth Championship, right?
Yeah.
This is and it was hosted in Nigeria from the 3rd to 24th of April, right?
Okay,
24 teams came from 6 confederations. There were 8 host cities. 8 host cities. Spain won it. Runner-up were Japan. 3rd place Mali, and 4th place Uruguay. Right, 52 matches were played, and interestingly, total number of attendance was 624,000. That's big.
Money still get value there now.
That's big. So the games were hosted in Ibadan, Lagos, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Kano, Calabar, Kaduna, and Bauchi. Let me tell you something.
When did it start?
It started on the 3rd of April. From 3rd to 24th of April.
I remember it was Easter period.
So Abdulsalam was giving the opening speech. Yeah.
No, which is crazy, right? Because
this is crazy because we're in the middle of transitioning from.
How did FIFA even approve this?
So you know what happened? You know what happened? The backstory was that Nigeria was meant to host either 95 or 97, but we lost the hosting rights because of Abacha. But they lied that there was a cholera outbreak in Nigeria. That's why they took the rights from us. So to compensate Nigeria, 99, where we are obviously transitioning to, it was obvious that we are heading to a civilian rule. then we're allowed to host it.
That's interesting, man. You know, the funny thing is that you look at these states, these cities where the games were hosted: Ibadan, Lagos, Enugu, Port Harcourt, Kano, Calabar, Kaduna, and Bauchi. Can we host anything in 8 cities like this anymore?
How many
No.
cities do you have now?
Wow.
Yeah.
In
You know
Lagos,
the
it was the national stadium.
forget National
So
Stadium
Obviously.
is dead.
Yeah.
The soccer is dead. You know the funny thing NEPA did during this period in our area? Because we were living so close to Murtala Mohammed Airport. We were living in Charity Bus Stop. Anybody who knows where Charity Bus Stop is, around that area. And
Mhm.
because the airport has, when you are coming from the airport, you have to pass through that Charity side, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks before Nigeria 99, we did not have light for like 14 days. And this was not the era where NEPA go, they tell you, say, oh no, for like 14 days. And this was
14 days was rare at that time. Like
yes,
not having
14
light
days
for
at a
14 days.
stretch. And this was the heat period, dry season,
Yeah.
everything hot. The night before Nigeria 99, our lights just came on around 10 p.m. Osagie, I'll tell you, for the next 6 months, our light did not shake. Throughout the
Jesus
games, our light
Christ.
did not shake. For the next 6 or 7 months, we had constant power supply. Until one day, some NEPA guys just tampered with our transformer. And that's when we went downhill. But that year,
Yeah.
that 99, from that on that April to like October, November, bruh, light was on steady.
That must
Nigeria
have been
99,
insane.
light no off. Why? So that when the contingents are passing through, they can look outside and say that Nigeria has electricity. I was
There's
like,
electricity,
well,
you know.
we benefited from it, sha. Thank God. We have
you
power through.
know, when I do become a billionaire, right? There are some things I really want to dedicate
I hope you're not dedicating
resource
to
to.
Nigeria. I hope you're not
No,
dedicating.
of course I'm going to dedicate stuff to Nigeria. One of the things is just understanding the dynamics around like power generation and how the country does not have electricity.
And why it's still difficult, right?
Oh, I know why.
Yes.
I know why.
Why? Why?
It's corruption.
Is it
Corruption and
corruption,
mediocre.
competence? Like, why can't we,
Competence and corruption. They go hand in hand.
God damn it. Something like, so like education now, right? It's not
Mhm.
staring in your face how bad things are. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would believe that power generation will be something the government will want to take care of because it's staring in your face to foreigners, to investors, to everybody where there's no power. Do you
Mhm.
understand? I feel like they want to cover up, at least look responsible and competent in that space.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? But
Yeah. Yeah.
alas, so I just don't feel like it's just 100% corruption. I
No, it's
feel
not corrupt. It's
I'm trying to
competence too.
figure
It
what the
is.
problem is.
It is corruption. It has led to, I think, over time, it has led to the like
Competence too.
underinvestment in like the infrastructure that we really need to power electricity. That's like the main thing, like one of the main things that we are lacking. But obviously, it was corruption that led us there because even the money allocated to that purpose, like the Nigerians were not, like the people in charge were not using the money for what it was intended to. So over the time, it led to the decay of what we already had and the non like investments in new like infrastructure that could power electricity. That's how over the years we fell behind and still suffer from like inconsistent power generations, like it's a number of factors, but mainly corruption also. And you know, I think corruption is like the main thing for energy in Nigeria.
Interesting. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Before we start the show, I want us to listen to and congratulations are in order as well. I think we need to give a round of applause. Um, and before I do that, let me do something. Yes, yes, yeah, super. We need to give a round of applause to the first female. I don't know why people say female all the time. It's not like they say male. The first lady or first woman to own a Tesla Cybertruck in Nigeria.
Osagie, I beg. Let's be serious. I beg.
This
Congratulations are
guy.
in order. Hey, Ayo, don't do that. Don't do that. We need to congratulate people for what's, and she's here in an interview telling us how she could afford to buy a Tesla. Let me first confirm how much a Tesla Cybertruck is. Tesla Cybertruck price. I know there are different types, but let me see. Okay, a Tesla Cybertruck is priced as starting at $69,900, like say $70,000. All right, what is $70,000 now in Naira?
It's 1.5 now. Our president is doing wonders. It's 1.5 now.
$70,000 in Naira. Yes, let's see what that is. That is 108 million Naira. Oh, okay. 108 million. Yeah.
You know the funny thing? If I was the head of EFCC, I will have a department just called Social Media Monitoring Department.
Oh, they do.
Oh, they do.
The EFCC has it. The tax office has it.
Okay.
I used to work with an artist who posted a picture of his two Benzes in his garage, and the next week he got
okay.
He got a call from FIRS.
So I believe that this woman will soon get a call. All right.
Well, a lot of it depends, but I won't go into that. But let's listen to this lady telling us how she could afford a Tesla Cybertruck.
Okay, Bo, so can you tell us how much does this car, how much does it cost?
Is that necessary, like, to put the
Definitely, Bo, definitely. This is a lot.
Okay, it costs about 400 M.
400 M for this car.
Yeah, don't lie.
Hey.
Bo, is this money from the hair business?
I have multiple streams of income. Anyway, you see business, you see me. I have a whole lot I'm into.
Like right what and what?
Let's not get into details.
Ha.
Hair business being my first business, I actually have other businesses I'm into. I'm a smart investor. I'm into a lot. Anywhere you see business, you see Bo hairs.
The most surprising part of this is that you mentioned that it is for deliveries for your customers.
My customers.
Wait, so if you have a customer in Ikorodu, are you taking this Cybertruck?
Why not? If you're in Ikorodu and you need me to deliver the hair with the Cybertruck, it's too small. I'll be there.
Being the first female to own a Cybertruck in Nigeria and also a business owner, what advice do you have to young girls and business owners that would want to be like you or, achieve something like this?
Okay, so the truth is that whatever you put your mind to, whatever you aim for, you can achieve. You can achieve anything you want to achieve that you put your mind into. And there's so much money to be made out there. Don't say never.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
I'll drop updates. So much money to be made.
Bo,
don't say
I need this update.
What a song.
Yeah, it's Mo 9 in the building. Tag the homes in the building. Yeah, that's how it is. John Mix. Nice beat, son.
Let's start.
Let's talk about Nigerian girls. Put your L's up if you're fresh and single. My Lagos chick said you're dry, you don't mingle. You don't go clubbing and you don't buy me Pringles. I was trying to watch a match, try my best not to jump her. She made me miss the goal, so I sprung up and thumped her. My new pet chick was cute, but I dumped her, cause she kept on feeding me kuli kuli and dunkwa. My Josh chick had a temper causing havoc, jealously blowing up in a state of ammo. Lang Tang Mafia, cussing me in Tarot. My ex chick was Igbo. Why you let her go? She was fine, but like Big and Jay-Z, she loved the dough. Now my bank account is red. Had a quarry chick once, she never used her head. No pun intended, she used her shoulders instead. No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
You gotta love them. You gotta love them. You gotta love them. I say you gotta love them. Had a PH chick by the name of Joan, long throat, asking for a HD phone, bought her 3310, 90 grand, no be yam. My Ondo chick had a PhD, so I ran. The reason I wasn't qualified to be a man. My Kogi runs, had no rival. She wasn't feeling Jesus, she worshipped idols. We split, but not before I bought her a Bible. Beware, Edo girls are hard like gravel. Told one I was born abroad and I will soon travel. You must marry me, she said, with a gun to my navel. Engaged to a Calabar chick, hoping on me. Try to jazz me, cooking food and coping on me. Gave it to the gate man, now I'm single and free. No cash, no Abuja chicks. Plenty cash and they'll be on y'all. No matter where you from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
You gotta love him. You gotta love him. You gotta love him. I say you gotta love him. My Kwara babe was like, I love music since I had sauce. Talking with a nasty H factor. The Kebe so fat, I bet she moves it with a tractor. Had to gag her, so she won't speak in public. I told my French, yeah, she's freaky and she loves it. Listen for me, badon. I toasted in the dark. The next morning I was like, Tiger Shark. She never forgave her dad for giving her tribal marks. My Ijebu chick used to tax me steadily. Stingy girl, she wouldn't even share a bed with me. My tiff girl, drink a lot and lie that she quitting. Down in more than 16 bottles in one sitting. The brother of my Uyo babe gave me the info. He said my sister can't cook, not even something simple. And I think you should know, she's also an info. Big problem, I nodded but didn't think so. No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
You gotta love him, you gotta love him, you gotta love him. I say you gotta love him. No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
No matter where you're from, no matter who you be, you gotta love
Nigerian girls.
You gotta love him, you gotta love him, you gotta love him. I say you gotta love him.
It's Young John, the wicked producer.
Oti mudogo yaro, and monkey tail. Aro, bami we claro. I want to do she not today. She not today. She said she cannot wait though. She said it's getting late though. She said she want to vent though. Story for the gods. Now she say Morogo. What's it call me like bow? What's it call me lion? Story for the gods, oh my God, it's sanity. See your back calamity. Girl, I want to have it. Do I need your permit? Oh yeah, I need money, we got it. Very low, darling. We go donate up for you like charity. Oh, sour cool vine. Oh, Shama with a tool for the vine. Eric go point to a divine. Yeah, but yeah, I want to redefine. I don't get me wrong, long per minute talk, but Tim me strong and money me long. You feel my boy, I will buy. I'm sorry, what's in the bag? And monkey tail. Bami we claro. I want to do she not today. She not today. She said she cannot wait though. She said it's getting late though. She said she want to vent though. Story for the gods. Now she saying Morogo. What's it call me like bow? What's it call me Leo? Story for the gods.
You are now listening to Loose Talk.
Welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast. It's Loose Talk, baby. My name is Osagie, and I'm here with my, you know what I describe them as, esteemed gentlemen, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yes, my co-hosts, Steve, the lead researcher, Diddy. If he's not lead researching, he's not doing anything else. That's what he does all day. He's just lead researching. Researching. The results may vary. That's very different. Okay. But we're just concerned with him, lead researching. And of course, I have with me the one and only Ayomide Oluwasegun Tayo II. Round of applause for my co-hosts.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, drop a bomb for them like we're in Baghdad.
I beg you.
Yes, y'all. And yeah, we're back on another episode. You know how we do. A lot of feedback on the last episode, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, we got it. We got it. We got a lot of people tweeting at us. We got messages. I just want to say shout out to everybody that sent me a message that agrees with like, how I feel and disagree, but yeah, I did get messages from both sides, more on the side that agrees with me, interestingly. And people just share thoughts, open thoughts. People have been asking questions. And I think for us, I think let's just state this, right? That's why this podcast exists. I had to think about it a bit. Oh, am I like pushing too much on this topic? Am I? Because religion and politics are very touchy topics. We already know this, right? 50 Cent will tell you, religion and politics, I don't go. It doesn't touch it.
Religion even more so, too, especially in Nigeria.
In Nigeria and all of that. So I understand how it is. But hey, man, and I think it's very important because like we got a couple of emails. And think people think I'm bashing Christians or bashing Christianity. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying like let's ask questions. Let's ask ourselves more questions. And I saw a couple of people calling me an atheist. I'm not an atheist, right? I still identify as a Christian, but I think I can ask those questions. At worst, I'm agnostic, which is being different from an atheist. If you're an atheist, you do not believe God exists. If you're agnostic, you don't believe God exists and you don't believe God does not exist. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which, for me, like spurs that curiosity and pushes you to really discover something. Again, I saw other people say, hey, Osagie, you people believe in jazz and spirituality, but you don't believe in. And I think you are missing the entire point of what we are trying to say. We do believe these things exist. The formation, right, and the way these things have been conjured for us to believe in is what I'm saying we should question at times. But please believe in your spirituality. I think that's the most important thing. And believe in what makes you walk and what makes you tick as a human being. At the end of the day, we'll figure it out. And yeah,
Last.
yeah, we'll figure it out. But that's it. How's your week been, guys?
It's been good. It's been calm. It has been very rainy in Lagos. I'm very
Okay.
happy today we can see the sun. So yeah,
Rain in Lagos, that's not a good thing, is it?
it's never. So all the people that own Teslas, they had to turn it into a boat during the week.
Sorry, how many people own Teslas in Lagos?
I don't know. By the time I go to Lekki, I see Teslas. So I'm guessing maybe 10. I don't know.
And you just guess 10. I think it should be more than 10.
No, definitely more than 10.
20.
Definitely.
Even more than 20.
More than
they'll
20.
Well, what they call them, the electric stations are popping up everywhere on the island now. So I guess it's more
Yeah.
than 10.
I mean, we're eventually going to get there. The problem I have in Nigeria is we keep building like
faulty stuff.
We build everything on non-existent or fundamentals. You understand? For a country, because you know what is going to happen in a few years. One manufacturing company is going to come and partner with the state government and say, hey, we're going to build these charging stations and we need more electric cars because everybody's going green, because Europe is going green, the West is going green. How do we grow green as well, and all of that? And they will partner and they will get a big scissors and then they will cut the ribbon and everything. But you ask yourself, how are we going to power these cars? So they are going to create charging stations that are powered by diesel.
Yeah. Which
Do you understand?
The same problem. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and we've seen this across board. When we talk about code to code, when we talk about AI, whatever, it's just building futuristic stuff on non-existence of fundamentals and a lack of infrastructure. And I don't know why we're excited to do that. I also don't know why we don't want to focus on like the infrastructure.
We don't want to do the heavy lifting. We don't want to do the heavy lifting.
I don't think that's the problem. I think some people have tried to do the heavy lifting and they've seen that it's impossible or like the roadblocks are so big.
It's the
won't be able to do
roadblocks.
anything.
I don't think it's impossible. It's the roadblocks, the red tape.
It's the red taping.
It's the red taping, right? I also think that, doing any futuristic thing doesn't have a sincere intent. There's always something behind it. Either you've received money, a company is trying to find an inroad to do XYZ, whatever.
Nigerian PTS is creeping up on you.
And then you paint it as, oh, we're trying to help the society and everything. Like if a company approaches me to say, oh, Sagi, we need to teach the next 1 million Nigerians how to code. I think that's interesting, right? But a bigger problem to solve is Like, they need to understand what mathematics is. They need to be able to comprehend, right? Okay, how do they comprehend? We need better schools, but we also need to invest in nutrition. You start to see that the problem is bigger than
It's inside. It's the
your
roots.
I want to just teach people how to teach people how to learn AI. You're not going to teach 1 million, 2 million people how to learn artificial intelligence if they don't even have the right comprehension skills.
Yeah.
And that's like
If
my
they don't
issue.
even have
Like,
the proper nutrition self, they can't even understand. So
do you understand? There are people in the north that are substituting milk for they're substituting how will I put it? Substituting milk for tiger nuts, right?
yeah.
Or substituting tiger nut for milk. Which
Yeah.
one is it?
This is what we ask Grammarly. I don't know.
Anyways, you get my point, right? There's no milk. They do not have access to milk, so they are using tiger nut, and then they grind the dried bones of animals because it has calcium in it, and then they turn it into powdery form and then use it as milk. How do these kind of children? How do you want them to develop to the point where they can learn what is being taught in schools?
That's the key.
So we keep taking like the cream of the crop, right? And usually it was Lagos State, right? When all these companies come in, oh, we want to do stuff. And then you take the cream of the crop, right? And then you try and train the cream of the crop. But what is happening now is that even the cream of the crop, there's no more cream there.
No, there's no crop. Forget the cream. At least crop not there again.
Do you understand? So Access Bank posted this on their Instagram page. I came across it and sent to for someone, right? There's this like flyer they have. It's called STEM Africa Fest 2025. AI for good. The future is AI. Code, create, change the world. Give your child a future filled with creativity and adventure at an immersive tech and innovation festival designed to spark creative ideas for kids aged 7 to 11. What to expect? Esports competitions, engineering corner, AI labs, fun zone, and more. Boom, right? This is nice. A partnership with a company called Kid, right? It's great. I like it. It's better than nothing. I'm just saying that this doesn't solve fundamental problems. And it is not Access Bank's business to solve any fundamental problem. What the government is meant to do is create it to a space where if this program then comes in, you have kids who are eligible, right, mentally to be able to participate in this. But what programs like this does, it just further separates privileged children.
But the people who have access to it, yeah.
Do you understand? And that's my problem, right? Simple example, right? Even if you're going to a school, let's say you grew up in an area that is far. Where's the venue of this place? Let me see. The venue is Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island, Lagos. You stay in Ayobo Ekpaja. Your parents have tried to give you a decent education. Maybe there's a private school around there. They teach well. You're okay, right? Your parents have failed you well, everything. But your parents don't have access to they don't have a car. They take public transport. There's nobody that can take you there, right? You start to look at it as, okay, children don't have free transportation in the city. Which is crazy if you look at it, right?
They do. When you enter BRT, but you have to stand.
They do for BRT.
But you have to stand.
Yeah, you have to stand. Yes.
But is there BRT from Ayobo?
There's no transportation. I was just joking. Well, you have to stand anyway, but that's not transportation. That's not transportation fit for kids going to school. It does not make sense.
Do you understand? So you start to look at it that they can't even afford to take you to this place and this is the only place programs like this will hold. They will hold in the city. So a lot of things, you are just fighting against a lot of things to try to survive and grow as a normal child in Nigeria. And that's why, like someone like me, right? I thank God that I was privileged. Even I would say I was not privileged, right? Like I come out of my house, I walk down the street, someone is having their bath in front of the house. Like there was if they were face me, I face use 30 a minute away from my house by walking. Do you understand? Like I was exposed to abject poverty, even though I didn't participate in that abject poverty. But like that was the mentality. Once I got out of my house, where I'd watched Cartoon Network and being exposed to everything globally, right? When I came out of my house, it was
the things you were interacting with were still very, very kind of like primitive and poor. poor.
Not primitive. Steve said primitive. That's crazy.
Primitive is
I was
not-
just joking.
I know.
I was just
But
joking.
but you understand what I mean, right? And
Yeah, I
this
understand what you're
is
saying.
this is your mentality. And then how do you battle with that with someone whose fault is it? If you had
Yeah.
if everybody's giving the basics, at least that is a level
It
playing
gives,
field.
it gives you a
And
fighting
then
chance.
privilege will always exist. That's fine.
It's normal.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's fine, but people need the basics. And I'm tired and sick and tired of we thinking the basic is what we're experiencing now, which it isn't. It's
Not
not
even
the
close.
basic.
It's not even close to it.
It's not even
It's
close
not the
to
basic.
dignified.
It just kind of like summarized the pain of the middle class, and that's why there's something called Japa. And that's why people leave. Yeah, in terms of like the middle class are the ones who leave the most because they understand what they need, but they don't have the access to it. Do you get like to get this like the access to what you need in Nigeria to be like a highly skilled and highly functioning individual, like
Highly
for true
productive.
training, true education, you have to be like in the top 1%, right? Like go to really expensive private schools, then even go to really expensive private universities, right? And have access to travel in terms of like going to vacations or even schooling abroad. Like in terms, okay, if you're even rich enough to that level, you can even circumvent and skip the whole education in Nigeria process, right? While like taking your schools abroad. Like for example, like Tony Elumelu does not have his kids in any educational institution in Nigeria. That's why he's always going to the UK.
I'm sorry, I just laughed when you said because I just thought about Tolu Elumelu's kids schooling in Nigeria and it was
exactly somehow right. So
does it fit the brand?
Exactly. So they go abroad, they have this like access to like better education, then come back. Then if you're not that rich, it has to be like the most expensive schools, right? The most expensive schools, from nursery to primary to secondary, then to universities. Not a lot of like middle class citizens can afford this loss. It's luxury.
It's a luxury.
Like basically, it's a luxury, right? So not a lot of them can afford it. The best way they can is to just uproot themselves and their family out of the country so that their children can experience something close to that. Do you understand? And that's just why people leave. It's just like these basics that you're talking about. Being frustrated with what is around you, even when your thought process, your exposure has really elevated past your above your immediate surroundings. That's just the pain of the Nigerian middle class, to be very honest.
So you are saying that the reason why Nigerians are jackpine is not because they hate Tinubu and they want to just show that he's a bad guy. Because there's that theory to that. They just leave it, want to show that Tinubu
things that also kind of like triggers like a mass movement, right? Like
course,
for example,
definitely.
after October 2020, there was this switch in
that's
especially our generation to say that switch that no, I think I'm being overly optimistic about this place. This place is not going to get better. Let me go. Buhari also, Tinubu also winning the election was also a trigger for people, stuff like that. Yeah. So.
Steve, when you mentioned Buhari, I wanted to ask: is it the 80s version or the 2000s?
both times, even as a military dictator, as a military president, and as a civilian president.
Because that's when Jackpot started. No.
Yeah, that's when it started. Yeah,
Andrew, don't
there's
check
this
out.
popular, Andrew, don't check out. Thank you.
Don't check out, yeah.
So it's just insane.
Oh,
Speaking
the Andrew
of,
don't check out, which then inspired Veno Omorige's Nigeria Go Survive.
You know, it's on the cover of it's on the back cover of the album. What's his name? The man who did the Andrew don't check out.
Yeah.
Elebele.
Yeah.
Yes.
But doing that kind of ads in like national TV is wild.
I'm checking out.
They used to be wild.
Like you're begging people not to travel.
Yes.
No, NTA used to have the maddest propaganda ads back then. No. Forget. And that was when NTA was really NTA. Nobody.
Yeah, back when they knew what they were what they
knew
doing.
what they're doing.
Yeah. Speaking about
and you also could see like the decline of these like institutions, like from our education to our institutions. Like we talked about NTA right then, like in the 80s. We saw how NTA declined. Watch NTA as kids. Watch Newsline or watch New Dawn was like one of the dopest things I've ever experienced in my life. Watching New Dawn, with Fumi, and AMS Press was so cool. Like it was
No, that was
anchored by
mad.
elderly people, but they were so cool. Like Yinka Craig, Catherine Idowu, like
Sadidaba.
Sadidaba. It was something that you look up to, like look forward to in the morning. We don't have those things now because of the decline of this institution, and not just the institution themselves, the individuals, the people, the highly skilled individuals to carry out those, to carry on, to power those institutions are declining by the numbers every year. So that's why you have like the total decline of the system and of a society, and that's what's happening in Nigeria.
But hey, we are giving scholarships to children in St. Lucia. Thank you. That is what matters.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yes. You've not heard.
No, for context, there's nobody that is going to use that scholarship because it's scholarship for students in St. Lucia to come to Nigeria to study. It's just like a cultural exchange. But how many people are going to leave St. Lucia to come to Nigeria to study?
If you give me St. Lucia visa now, they go.
Exactly. How many youth from St. Lucia? St. Lucia is like 200,000 people.
It's not
right. It's not exactly. How many of them will leave St. Lucia to come to Nigeria to school? So that was just like a scholarship that that was not going to be like practical. It's just one of those things. Yeah.
Can I ask some questions?
Yes, feel free.
Okay, so the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu visited St. Lucia recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's been criticism over his visit to St. Lucia, like the fuck are you going to do at St. Lucia? But that's for another thing. So the scholarships he granted are for citizens of St. Lucia to come study in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, yes.
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
The fuck you want to do that for? No, I thought he was paying for scholarships in their country.
No, it's a sort of like cultural exchange.
Yeah, so you can come over. It's nice.
Come over and stuff like that.
The problem is that where you are coming to, the school is not good enough.
Exactly. Like I don't see that happening. It's not really practical.
You mean last week's not good enough? What do you mean?
It's not practical,
Yeah, but this happens steadily now between countries and all of that.
Yeah. I've seen students from other countries coming into Nigerian universities before.
Yes. You guys talked about NTA right now, NTA and propaganda, right? I remember we had a conversation offline, but we didn't have it thoroughly.
Yeah.
About NTA's reinvention. So Communicate, shout out to Communicate. If you guys don't read Communicate, please check out readcommunicate.com. We'll put the link to this article in there. And of course, shout out to David Adeleke as well. Not to be mistaken with Davido.
Yes.
Their 74th published article is talking about the reinvention of Nigeria's national TV broadcaster, right? And the summary headline says, can Nigeria's state broadcaster NTA take a cue from the likes of BBC, DR, and France TV to reimagine its future and regain cultural relevance? Some of the key points in the article is legacy institutions can be revived with right talent, right? And this is the one I really zeroed in on. Shout out to Steve who also pointed this. It says the appointment of industry-savvy leaders such as Tari Taylor at the Nigerian Television Authority demonstrates how strategic hires can reboot legacy organizations. Creative entrepreneurs can learn from this about the importance of experienced leadership and cross-sector experience. Investors, meanwhile, should not write off old brands too quickly. With the right talent and strategy, even stagnating assets can be turned into growth engines. Right. And I was like, okay, makes a lot of sense that they would appoint someone, who probably has past experience in leading media organizations and companies, right? Whether it's for transformational change or whatever, right? You need to have maybe this person has worked at BBC, like Tari Taylor. Okay, let me check her LinkedIn. So I went and checked her LinkedIn to look at past experience. And I want to share that with you. She has 7 experience in total. The most recent is she being the executive director of the Nigerian Television Authority. Before that, she was the senior special assistant on environment to the Lagos State Governor. Before that, she was the founder of Upgrade Environmental Services. Before that, she was the ward chairman for Youth Party Nigeria. Before that, she was the general manager of Content Factory Global, right? And then before that, she was the director of Content Factory, I think the same company. And before that, she was the media director of Guiding Light Assembly. I believe that's like a church or something. So I went and looked for Content Factory Global and the amazing things they've done, and I didn't find anything. Right? And in the last few years, she has worked more in the environmental space. So how the fuck did this person become the executive director of the Nigerian Television Authority, guys? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Why is a banker your minister of power?
Oh my god.
I think those are like being a minister. Those are not like technical.
Yes, it's the
portfolios.
permanent
The
secretaries are the
administrative, yeah, it's the
ones.
permanent
Yeah,
secretaries. That's
is
so
that
that like
actually
administrative
That's why
portfolios, right?
that's why they made Festus Kiyamo head of
Aviation.
aviation, right? What's
Yeah.
Steve saying? Guys, Steve, stop this thing, man.
Yeah, man.
about before Steve answers, that is the way the Nigerian ministerial setup is. Anybody can become minister, but it's the permanent secretaries that have the technical knowledge. It is a flaw, obviously, because we've seen that nobody knows jack shit at the end of the day. But that's the way the country is set up.
I mean, okay, I'm looking forward to what NTA does.
Nothing.
You know, me personally, I'm looking for. I'm being very positive about it because I feel like NTA is. I've told you guys now. NTA is still the biggest broadcaster in the country. They
Yes,
reach
no.
all 36 states, free to air.
Free to air.
All 36
That's-
states. If
that's the
NTA goes
DSTV
on
still are there.
network, if NTA goes on network, bro, everybody's seeing your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking forward to
All
what's happening.
other channels used to tune into NC at 9 p.m. Does that still happen? I'm not sure because I'm not sure channel channels or Arise they tune
No.
into NC at
No,
9 p.m.
They only tune in when NTA is broadcasting a special, like if NTA is broadcasting like presidential speech or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Arise and channels at this point they have their own direct feeds now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah, at this
because
point.
it's how
Yeah.
incompetent the
The
national broadcaster
NCA
is.
has been, yeah.
The other guys have gained enough ground to say that we reach more people,
Yeah.
and then we reach more people globally as well because they're also on
They are streaming.
the way we have
partner
NCA,
networks.
we have the way we have NCA, we still have like a national broadcaster for radio. I've forgotten Federal Radio something. I've forgotten the name of that.
FRCN.
FRCN.
Is
I
it
used to work there before.
FRCN?
Yeah,
Exactly. FRCN. I remember like every 10 p.m. too, you had like all radio stations, local radio stations would be syndicated. We tune into
That's
we tune into,
where-
like national news. It was
That's
so
where the
big and
military.
so good.
That's where the military will go once they've taken
Exactly
power.
when they want to announce exactly.
Yeah, they just go
want to
there and say
announce.
they just tell the guy, put me
And you
on,
know it's very-
put me on,
Yeah.
what do you call it?
Nationwide
Syndication
frequency.
everywhere,
Yeah.
nationwide, yeah.
And that place is very close to Jordan Barracks. It's no more than 20 minutes
Yeah.
drive. You get there sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So immediately you seize power, you just go there, bam, and announce it.
Yeah. But I hope NTA really brings out like a really great TV programs because the nation needs it right now in terms of agenda build, in terms of just having
In terms of
Some-
everything, because
something that Nigerians
Yeah.
can watch at home without having to break the bank for.
people
No,
can't
not
even
every-
afford satellites, right? Cable TV right now because it's expensive.
Multi-choice is bleeding.
so-
They're bleeding in Nigeria right now.
Yeah, just imagine you replicate some part of it. You have like I would say the resources, you have like the opportunities, just like a low hanging fruit for
Yeah.
NCA to really do like decent work. But at the end of the day, so I used to play this scenario in my head where also if they appoint me as like the director of NCA, what should I do? And every time I play a scenario, anytime I play this scenario game, I always land at meeting incompetent people that have been hired into the ministry or into NTA and trying to work with them and train them. That's the most frustrating thing you ever experience as a Nigerian in Nigerian civil service or in Nigerian government agencies where
Steve, let me
you
tell you
come in
story.
and you're trying to do
Continue.
the right thing. That's when you
Yeah.
understand why we are where we are as a country. You get you'll be totally frustrated. And
Can I just
it's
add
just
something
sad.
to that? Because you said when you come into like government, no. Right now, private institutions are also facing the same problem.
Yeah.
Bro, we faced this
Incompetence.
problem like 11 years ago now. Even
yeah,
we
we did.
went
Yeah.
into an
Sure.
institution, a private institution, and we tried to lead transformational change.
Oh,
and
no.
we're frustrated
It
daily.
was a daily battle. Man.
And what happened? The saving grace was that the people who hired us to get the job done believed in what we were doing, and
Yeah.
eventually we phased out all the people who didn't want change.
True.
Like if you look at it, right, they were getting paid well, and they didn't want to drive the change just because they didn't because they just felt lazy about it.
Mm.
And so then take that into like even like public institutions where
It's more
corruption and
entrenched.
incompetence is it's they'll kill you. They
They'll kill you.
literally
They'll
kill you.
kill you. They literally kill you. Yeah.
Bro, have you forgotten a lady that was appointed in one parastatal and she bought her own chair? The chair that she was meant to sit in her office, she refused to sit on it and bought her own chair. Omolomo,
Oh
you want me
my
to kill her?
god.
Yeah. There was a story back then. I'll look for that link. The Shagari government hired a bunch of American professionals in broadcasting to come and train NTA staff. And they too also went through hell. And this was in the
Yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah. I
So
remember.
imagine now.
Yeah.
Because let's
Imagine you
not
as a
first it or
Nigerian.
not,
Yeah.
NTA now, 80% of the staff have to go. You can't train anything again.
I'll say 95.
Yeah.
But you're close. Yeah.
Maybe you leave the gate man and the lady that does errands. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody has to go.
Why is it a lady that has to do errands?
Oh, the guy. Sorry. The guy.
Security man, lady that runs errands.
Me.
I'm triggered.
If I'm in charge of entertainment in NTA, I just call Funke Akindele. How much do you need to bankroll 3 movies exclusive to NTA? How much do you need? Cost Sabino's 2 seasons, 30-minute sitcoms, Friday 7:30 for the whole country to watch. Simple as that.
I mean, I wish Terry Taylor the best because it's going to be a lot leading transformational change in an institution like NTA. It's going to be a lot. The main problem you have is people won't just want to work. They're comfortable with doing what they are doing. Because if you're telling them to do more or change and you're not paying them more, they're just going to be like, why do I need to stress myself? Why do I need to come to work early? Why do I need to cover this event? Why do we need these many editors? Why do I need to rewrite this story? You know, we need to buy.
Why do I need to work extra hours?
You know, why do we need new equipment? There's some people there that don't want new equipment.
They don't want.
Everybody has like their own agenda, and you just see that is why everything is very stagnated.
I think we're overthinking it because even the person that you're expecting to lead the change, we just discovered the person is also like maybe like a know me, I know you higher. Do you understand? So like, where do we go from there? Do you get? So I think we're just overthinking it and expecting too much from a situation. So I rather we just like move on. And continue to be pessimistic as Nigeria requires us to be,
Let me see any updates this person has in terms of posts that they posted on their LinkedIn to see if there's been anything. Yeah. So, okay, I've seen one. It's Nigeria has no such shortage of talent or innovators, but many young people have limited access to opportunity. Today, we received the management of Innovate Hub at NTA HQ and discuss ways to partner with them in telling stories that will unlock the doors of opportunity for talented people, even in grassroots communities. The beauty of NTA's massive reach is being able to bring the world to Nigerians wherever they are. Okay, I like it.
What is an invention without a knowledge of it? It's zero. The world needs to see what is coming out of Nigeria. A lot is coming out of Innovate Hub, which means Nigerians are producing things through Innovate Hub that can get commercialized, that can get traction from the international communities, who can even invest in those ideas, in those products, and they get into the world. But if they are not aware of these things, I mean, we may reach dead end, or those innovators may reach dead end with it. This is where we seek partnership with NTA.
Okay, I like that. I like it. Tell stories of people doing great innovation so you can seek international, well, you can call it like funding or appeal or whatever. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so that was her post from 1 week ago. Okay, she also wished the governor a happy 60th birthday. And then she had the National Film and Censors Board, led by its CEO, pay a courtesy visit. All right, there's nothing there. And that's about it, guys. Also hosted Nollywood producers to share the authorities' plans towards remaking some of his classic formats.
Okay. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Partnered with Anthill Studios to launch Temi and the La Baba Band, a bold step in redefining children's programming. I'm very keen on that. Children's programming, we've talked
It's
about
very
this on
key,
the
bro.
podcast.
NTA
It's very
results.
key. This is
NTA
how you
results.
shape
A generation.
you shape a generation, you shape a society. So I'm looking forward to that. They also partnered with Extreme Ideas and Akon Media to produce a show called Las Gidi, a premium sitcom that follows the journey of a young man determined to succeed by any means necessary in the vibrant city of Lagos. I like it.
Okay, bless. I go watch
Yeah,
NTV. That's
I like it. They also have a new drama coming. It's called After Dark. Okay, so they have these dramas. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see
okay.
production. Let's just see.
Please,
Let's see
let's just
basic
see. If from
storytelling.
programming,
Yeah.
we'll know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's keep it moving on. So sad news. Diego Jota, if you don't know who Diego Jota is, Diego Jota is a footballer from Portugal. He plays for Liverpool Football Club. An exciting footballer in my eyes. I love how he plays. For someone of his height, the way he used to knock the ball, it was just amazing. Proper footballer, you know. He's passed away along with his brother, who's also a footballer in the second division in Portugal. Yeah, they passed away on Thursday, I believe. It was last Thursday,
Yes, last Thursday.
in a car crash. Apparently was on his way to to the UK to resume with the team. I think everybody resumes this Monday, and he passed away. We don't know what happened. People were saying, well, Lamborghini. Everybody immediately thinks they were speeding,
Speeding.
you know, and all of that, but we don't know. But it's very sad. I don't think I've seen a footballer like this die in his prime. I think last time I saw a footballer die that I was this shocked was USA 94, actually. Sangalo, the guy who plays for no, not Sangalo, what's his name? Escobar.
Escobar. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was shot. Was it
Yeah,
shot?
the guy
He
who was
was killed.
shot.
He was killed in
The
Colombia,
Co-
Medellin,
yeah, the
Colombia.
Colombian footballer who was shot because he made an own goal. And that's how his name became very popular in
In
Nigeria.
Nigeria as
Yeah,
Ungo.
because if you score an own goal, everybody say, Escobar.
Escobar.
Yeah, and then there was the other guy, the
The
young man
Norwich guy.
who was flying to the new club he had signed with
Yeah,
and passed
the
away.
plane crashed. Yeah.
And then the new club said they were not paying the old club the money.
They are still dragging it to today now, I think.
I think a court has
Okay.
issued a verdict, but I can't remember what the result was. But yeah, man, it really saddened the world of football because Diogo Jota
Yeah.
was a fantastic player. Beyond that, he's a human being. He just got married, I think, 10 days before. He had 3
Yeah.
kids. None of them had reached the age of 5. Young man starting his life. I mean, you know, a family, just got married. Brilliant. Everything is nice, you know, and this happens. It's so sad.
Sad.
And if you know Jota, he's a likable player. I'm
Yeah,
a Man
he is.
United fan. I like the guy. You know, you don't hate him. It's Diogo Jota. You know, he's a great guy. Just won the Nations Cup with the
Portugal.
Portuguese team as well. Just won his first league. I don't think he was there when they won the one in the COVID.
2020. No, this is
2020,
first.
no. First
So
league title.
he just won his first league title. Big deal for him. He had like a great season by his own standards. People were like, this season is really going to show up and show out. And now he's passed away at the age of 28, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And rest in peace. You guys have something to say about Diogo Jota?
No, you said everything, man. It's
I
just
don't know, man. I just question like, what's the use of fast cars? You know, if it was built for speed and not to protect like the person driving it in when something like bad occurs or something unusual occurs, like a tire burst or something. Like we just saw the case of Antonio in West Ham where he just barely survived, right? Like, you know, like what's the use? And if I'm a football club, I will insert because football clubs they do have like these clauses where you can't like engage in like
do
some
certain
dangerous
certain
activities, like
Yeah.
like
Paragliding and all that stuff.
gliding, skiing, and stuff like that, skiing. You can't do those
Skydiving.
things, skydiving and stuff like that. I don't know. I will include like a fast car or something because it's just sad how because it's built for speed. Like if the Lamborghini, like it's
Yeah,
just
everybody
built
knows
for
what a
speed.
Lamborghini is. Yes.
Yeah, you know, and a tire burst like in the middle of you being on high speed is obviously going to be fatal. So man, it's just sad, man, and like just a 28-year-old guy just living his dream, just had like going out like that is just like pathetic. It's sad, man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It's sad. Speaking about cars that you're saying, anybody who knows cars and their national heritage knows that Italian cars are beautiful, but they are trash at the same time. So your Lamborghinis, the Ferraris might look the best, might be the fastest, but in terms of safety and even practicality, being practical, they are not like optimum at the end of the day. So it's sad to see Diego Jota just go away at that, like that, and his brother also. It was a sad story. I think it cut across everybody, irrespective of your club allegiance, whichever country you come from. It was just a very sad story to deal with.
Yeah, pretty sad. And I think, like Steve mentioned, some clubs will start putting some clauses.
Yeah, because a lot of players are getting into accidents with these fast Italian cars, and bro, it doesn't make sense.
They're gonna start putting some clauses in. Hey, you can't drive in, you can't ride in a Lamborghini anymore.
Go and buy an Audi.
This is what's going to happen. Because if you look at the business side of things, right, and this might be a bit insensitive, but it's been announced it's been reported rather that Liverpool are going to pay the remainder of Jota's salary to the family, right? Which is a very decent thing to do. But see, beyond that, you want to crunch the numbers. It's not good for business.
Yeah.
You just have to also ensure that people like around you are really safe, and like avoid situations like that put them at risk of being killed like that, or being involved in an accident like that. I just been thinking about it. Like, I know you can say that of plane crashes, even our regular cars do. Like,
how many plane crashes are
involved? But how many Lamborghini crashes do you have? That's what you also ask.
Let me check.
A lot. I think this guy also had now.
Don't even say Lamborghini crashes.
Supercars, not
exotic
Lamborghini.
cars.
I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say car crashes.
Compared
to airplanes are safer to fly in than
I know. I'm just saying that because of because of an incident with a supercar. I'm just saying we might be overreacting to say, oh, people should not be driving them, or people should be very careful about them, because if you look at it, this is just like a rare case, right? Like him and Antonio West Ham, it's just like a rare occurrence, but anytime I've never seen like supercars like this survive. I remember Kevin Hart also almost died, so he spent like over almost a month or 2 months in the hospital.
And that was a muscle car, safe. I think it was. I'm not sure. I don't want to lay the blame on him, so I'm not sure.
His one was different. Wasn't he getting freaky in the car?
No.
No, it wasn't.
You don't mistake two things together now. You don't join two events together.
Oh, that's a different thing that happened.
The sex, Oh, I think he was over speeding. That was the problem.
Yeah.
And those cars
that's what those cars are built for now.
But that's why Lewis Hamilton is a champion of Formula 1.
Exactly. You're not a fast car racer.
That's in the AKA said.
That should not be in your hand. Yeah.
That's in the AKA said in Fela and Versace. It's not, bro. Don't try it, please. Live in moderation. I beg.
I remember one time I did 5 minutes on Third Mainland Bridge.
No, you. But I was discussing the concept of speed of driving. Like, out of all like the friends I have, the close friends I have, it's only and Kazim that don't drive fast. You, Dio, you people are insane on stereo.
No,
I don't like it.
But Steve,
no, I don't like it.
You have to admit I'm in control.
That's the thing. You are not.
Everybody says that. That's
why everybody says that you are not.
You're in control. You're not.
But let me take this back. I'm actually not a crazy guy on the road now.
Sorry, you drive speed. Forget that one. Like, you drive fast.
Ayo has driven with me. Ayo,
speed. No,
that days that you move the.
Osage, you speed a lot.
How do I speed a lot? Steve is actually slow in the car, and I'm actually.
It's fine.
I'm actually a bit taken back and disgusted that you're.
Everybody is disgusted by my driving. All the friends I have are disgusted by my driving.
Let me tell you, you and AQ are some of the most annoying people. I'd rather just take public transport than sit in the passenger side when two of you drive.
Same thing that I will tell you. It's fine.
But
we'll get there.
No, because see, you know what Steve is? Steve is generally slow, so he thinks driving like at the regular speed is fast. I'm on Third Mainland Bridge. I'm doing 100. How is that fast?
That's
No.
fast. Thank God.
I
man.
don't
Come and
understand
do
this
it now.
guy.
This new dispensation.
Bro, I
They will
do
give
Come on,
camera.
do it now.
doing
Come on, do
100,
it now.
doing 100 or 120 on Third Mainland Bridge. What's the big deal?
Come
Where the
on,
road
do it
is
now.
First of all, it's against the law now. You can't even do that.
There was no.
If I'm doing 80, that's my fast. Me, Steve Diddy.
What?
Like, if I'm doing 80, yeah, that's how. If I'm doing 80, I'm telling myself, oh, you are fast now. You are forming bad
80.
guy. That's just, yes, that's me. I
Bro,
don't drive. Everybody knows me. Like, if all my friends are disgusted by my
Bro,
driving. Everybody.
I'm doing 80. It means I'm multitasking.
Now, wow.
I'm doing 80. It means that maybe I had to put something into somewhere, and 80.
Yeah.
Come
I
on,
drive
man.
with the idea that I'm not in control. That's just how I drive. You know, that's
Hey,
how
man.
I remember.
Undefeated till now.
I drive with the idea. I remember we were going. Me and Dayo
I'm
were
actually not fast. You're just very slow. You've not seen me drive fast, Steve. You've not seen me drive fast.
What are you saying now?
You've
You
not
know how
seen
many
me
times
drive
you've dropped? I've been in the
No.
car with you.
But have you ever said, Osagie, you're driving fast?
I will say it because I know
No, why
that
would
that's
you
how you
say
drive.
it?
No,
It's not your life.
That's
Why would you say it? You see, that's how I drive.
I know that's how you drive. I'm not. It's not as if it's
You're
ridiculous.
looking for somebody
it's
who
not
drives
ridiculous.
crazy. It's not me. It's Damilayode. I used to Damilayode drive a pickup truck. We used to drive a pickup truck. Bro, I used to be worried.
Yeah.
So imagine I used to be worried. Like, what the fuck? Like, I need to get out of this car as soon as possible.
And we're traveling. He was going to Warri. I was going to Asaba. We were driving, like, I was driving a Range Rover. So the Range Rover, there's a way the speed is calculated. Where, like, let me just say, like, the 18 like Range Rover is like 120 in my Camry, right? But I didn't know. I thought I was still on my 80, and because it's like a really powerful car.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No, once
like,
you wound up, you don't know.
You don't know exactly. So I was driving. He was just looking at me. He was happy. He was looking at me. He was so excited and very proud of me. So I think halfway we've just passed already when he said when he looked at me and said, "Do you know this video you're driving?" I said, "Yeah, look at the speedometer." He said, "No, it's just because of the way it's calculated. This is how it's calculated." Bro, from there till Asaba, I was doing 60.
Stop touch.
Guy,
Imagine.
bro, when he told me, like, the fear that got into my head, I'm like, what am I doing?
Nah,
Bro, because
you're
I didn't
overthinking,
know. That's how I am. That's how I am.
You're
I'm
overthinking.
very,
The
very-
5 minutes I did on Third
very
Mainland
slow.
Bridge, that was crazy. Like, you can't do 5 minutes on Third. I did it once and I said I'm never doing it again.
Bro,
I did it once, and that day I did it was at 2 a.m. There was
Yeah.
light on the bridge. There was nobody. I said, because I was listening, there's that MI song now, 5 minutes, with
Yeah.
multi cakes.
yeah.
Bagada to was born 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Or like I forgot the name of the song, but like I was like, can I do this thing in 5 minutes, bro? I went in. I think I was on like 140. You
Yeah.
understand? Like I did it, boom, and once I did it, That was it. But
Yeah.
see, I know what Steve is worried. Is the maneuvering I do in between the cars that gets Steve worried. It's not the speed, it's the maneuvering, how I move in
That
between the
maneuvering and
cars.
the fair pass. I beg.
I'm on an sweet pass, guy.
I know say
Bro,
it's sweet.
I said
but-
there was one day, me and one guy from Oronshoki. The guy was driving this Corolla, Uber Corolla. Me, I was driving my own car. I was driving an SUV.
You
sha.
see these things people do on the road.
See,
Ah,
the guy,
man.
I didn't know the guy from anywhere. Oh. Me and this guy were now going in between cars. We're just moving. At times you'll be in front, at times you'll be in front. We did it. We did it to the end of Third Mainland Bridge. The guy was not climbing up. Me, I was going straight. The guy wound down, brought out his hand and hailed me, that correct guy.
Correct.
Not
Okay.
mad. Not mad. Like Nedu, I remember Nedu at the football club, the
Yeah.
software, the engineer,
Yes.
the Huawei guy. That guy can do Terminal Bridge in like 3 minutes.
No, it's not possible.
Bro, like I'm
But
kinda
like, yeah,
need
it's
to-
crazy.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Like it's crazy. Like he was crazy. I
Like
usually
if
send
it's
these
not
things to
me,
him,
I can't enter that kind of person's car.
of course, exactly, because you don't know how. No, that's the thing. Because I know, like, for example, I know you. I know Dio. Like, Dio is like a really awesome driver. So while I'm still scared, I still know that okay, that's him. That's how he drives.
And I can prevent, like, I can see an accident coming. I've swerved out of many crazy
Yes,
stuff
I know.
before now.
I know.
That I was like,
he's very, very good. But me, I don't get that kind of mind. I don't get that.
Don't be fast and furious.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, when you come visiting, No problem. Even here, once the camera catch you, you're getting a bill in the house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But that's
It's
ride your
crazy.
bicycle.
It's actually crazy here. They don't even disturb you. You just get a letter in the house that they find
That's the way it
you've been
should be.
fined.
Yeah.
Bro, I was watching
know.
a video here from another province. They gave someone a $621 ticket for over speeding. That's
Do you know
why
how fast that person-
$621.
that one, na rockets. Na
$621. I'm
rockets
like,
loaded.
how for a speeding ticket? Where are you going to? Come on, man. In short,
That's
me,
how
I
they
think
do here.
I think if they fine for under speeding, that's what they will find me for.
Not over speeding.
Not over speeding. Because where am I going to?
It's crazy. At times, you know what they do here? The police will hide here, use they have one
That
sort
they
of gadget.
Yeah.
Yes, and they test. Once you pass and they didn't read, they just start tracking you immediately.
In fact, one of the struggles I had for my drive test here was like when I was learning like how to, like for preparing for my test was how to maintain a speed. It's very important for you to pass a test here. That was like my biggest struggle in driving because
how do you maintain?
How do you
60?
stay on 60? I'm just be on 60. You're not going below. You're not going above. That was like the hardest thing. I figured it out. But I quickly remember, like I recognized why it was difficult for me because it was never something I had to do. I never had to maintain a speed. I can just go on. It wasn't a skill that I had to practice. Like I practiced a lot through my driving. You know, it wasn't required. You know, so but it was the only thing that was difficult for me to like sort about. After like 2 or 3 tries, I was able to get it.
Well, if they had tested you in starting and stopping, like you're in traffic, you would have passed it.
Easily with my eyes closed.
Start, stop.
With my eyes closed. With my eyes closed. Oh man, I enjoy driving. Car. When I came back in December too, that was the first thing that was in my head, like seeing how people were just driving. I'm like, oh, people are crazy, sure.
People don't need to go to driving school. People don't go to training to receive their driver's license now.
At all.
So what are we talking about?
I the same when it comes to driving. Just they move on anyhow.
Does they go?
Does they go anyhow?
Well, if you want to experience Nigerian driving in terms of how fast, because also I've done like in cities here, like I do in Nigeria, but people are not as fast here as it is in Nigeria. Here is regulated also, like as expected. But I remember because I used to drive to Agbo Asaba a lot from Lagos, and bro, the way people drive, bro, you see a Sienna with literally flying like a Sienna. And I'm like, bro, this car is not beautiful. What you are using?
160, basically.
They match.
Bro.
Because they are not regulated. There are no rules and regulations in intercity.
They're not regulated. Yeah.
You don't have all those signs. Nothing. You know, here if you switch on your Waze or Google Maps, right, and you get on the road, right, there's a button there where if you go beyond the certain limit, it starts beeping. And then reminds you to stay within the limits.
There's a joke I tell myself anytime I'm traveling. You know, when you are traveling, right? Maybe before you meet a car, you just recognize that car, then you drive. After already you see that car pass you again, then you pass the car again in Benin. It doesn't happen to me. If I'm driving, if I leave Lagos by 5 a.m., the person that is meeting me already left at 8 a.m. The people who left at the same time with me are already at home sleeping. I'm still on the road.
I mean, it's kept you alive all this while. It's working.
Brother, I tell you, and I can drive long distance in Nigeria. Like I've gone to Abuja, back and like up, like to and fro. Like
I didn't do long
distance. It's the speed.
I think the longest distance I've done is probably Ibadan. I don't do long distance, because I've never, to be honest, no, apart from that, I've never had a reason. Number 2, even when I had a car and I could travel, I'm afraid of intercity travel because I don't know what you can meet on the road.
Osage doesn't like intercity because one of his first experiences, he was dodging bullets.
Yeah,
when you're going to Port Harcourt, remember?
Yeah, they killed somebody.
They killed somebody. Osage was just sending photos.
They killed somebody. I still have those pictures. They killed somebody. Yeah, you know, the police were hiding. They now came in the morning.
Yeah, the police
were like, "Where you guys?" The guys are crying that you know, see the guy going when they get. You want me to kill you? Everybody started telling policeman, "We are sorry."
Yeah.
Anyways, the
Crazy.
Club World Cup is holding. Who's watching it?
I'm
Of course,
just
you
watching
watch it.
highlights.
It's
I'm
on
watching
Steve's.
it.
It's on Steve's time zone.
It's
so
on my
Steve
time
saw-
zone. No, but I
Oh.
started in the quarterfinals. I started like really watching in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the group stage. I didn't bother. Like,
I watched the PSG Atletico. That was good. The 4-0.
that was good. Yeah,
was
true,
good.
true.
No, highlight I
watched
did
that.
watch. I
But
can't be bothered.
I've not missed a game from the quarterfinals. Yeah,
I watched yesterday's game. PSG Bayern Munich was good as well.
yeah. But
Yeah,
pissed
yeah.
off with pissed off with Dortmund. It's like,
Yeah, because I think as a concept, Dortmund Football Club is just
You pass.
pointless.
You
It's the
pass,
same
it's
thing
not-
with it's the same thing with Kingsley Coman as a concept of a footballer. What is a
Yeah.
Kingsley Coman? What is he? What does Kingsley Coman bring to a team?
I saw him
as a
dribble
fo-
yesterday
as a footballer.
2 times. I was shocked. I'm like, he still has this thing in him.
Who?
You know, but Kingsley Coman.
Kingsley Coman, right?
Yeah.
Pre-Ineos, Kingsley Coman would have ended up at
Would
Man
have
United.
Man United.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Kingsley Coman, like as a concept of what is that? Same thing with Dortmund. You huff
No,
and
you can't
puff,
say that about
you're just a-
Dortmund is a world
not a-
historic club now. Come on.
But of late they've just been annoying me, man.
Because they don't have the resources to compete at the highest level like other people now. It's about money. It's capitalism now. The more money you have and you can earn, the more. This thing just happens. There's a reason why Bayern Munich became like the biggest club because they have like the.
Yeah, they just had more money. Yeah,
They
they'll
had
buy
more
your
money
players.
to buy everybody. Exactly. You know,
See
so-
now
And
they
they don't
bought Jonathan Tah. It has weakened
Yeah.
Leverkusen and has
Yeah.
strengthened them. And Tah is a good replacement.
you
Addition
know-
to the team. Yeah, Tah.
And you know in the German FA they don't want
foreign investment
investors,
as much.
which also
Yeah.
allows Bayern Munich to control their grip of
Yeah.
Bundesliga.
Yeah.
And Bayern Munich is basically German football. So it pays them.
I think it's like there's just moments in history that changes like the history or the trajectory of a club, right? Like Arsenal becoming like a huge club just because of how diverse like the team was at the time. Like Arsenal at the time, like in the 80s, they had this huge cultural identity with blacks in London,
blacks,
right?
yeah.
And from there it became like a really worldwide phenomenon. Like Henry as a winger, Kano blew it in Nigeria. It became, and that's how they became big. And the Tottenham didn't have that. They were the same caliber of clubs, but like there were moments in Arsenal's history that changed the trajectory where
them.
they became like a worldwide phenomenon, like, and gave them more resources than Tottenham, and that's how they were able to leapfrog Tottenham in status over the years.
So you can say the same with Chelsea.
Thank you. I was going to Chelsea when
Abramovich
Abramovich came and
elevated their
signed
status.
African players and Africans like Nigerians.
I didn't know one supporter of Chelsea before.
I'm
the
telling
Abramovich
you,
takeover.
Abramovich era. Bro,
Then all
even
of a
Man City
sudden-
has not enjoyed like the
That
the
love and
followership, that
fandom.
love and fandom. But it was due to Drogba, ACN,
Drogba, Essien.
especially from
And,
the
and
African
later
Makalele.
perspective.
Mikel.
And later
Makalele.
Mikel, and that's
Mikel.
how Nigerians became crazy about Chelsea. Crazy
was
about
crazy.
Chelsea.
And they were winning. And Nigerians
And they
were
were,
teams
thank
that
you, and they
win.
were winning. Thank
And
you,
they
and they
were-
were winning. Exactly. So Man City has not enjoyed anything like that. The only thing that they are doing now is just cooking. They're cooking. They cook their accounts, they cook their books, they give themselves the ownership will give themselves endorsements and they'll put it in the
Endorsements,
books.
and they'll move
Every
on.
like, they're just cooking.
State-funded football.
Exactly. But Chelsea became like a worldwide phenomenon. Like you go around the world and people know Chelsea. Mourinho now king.
Mourinho Starboy.
Starboy.
Because
I'm
when
the
the takeover
special
happened
one.
with Ranieri, right? People
It was
didn't
still
care.
shaky. People didn't
I mean,
care. Yeah.
I'm looking at it from Nigerian perspective, right?
Yes.
Was that 2004 season?
When Mourinho came, bro, we saw it now. We saw it in the viewing center. It was the peak viewing center era or more.
Because that before then you were Arsenal,
So
United,
that's it.
and that was it.
That was
Yeah.
big two.
Yeah,
They came
then in
in
Spain
and-
they were the Barca and the Madrid guys.
the Barca and Madrid guys.
whatever.
Yeah.
But the third force, and it was also an early entry of young Nigerians who didn't have a club to
Into
support.
True.
Yeah.
It came at the
Because it
very-
was
that's
during
why I
that
said
period, viewing centers exploded.
exploded. Yeah.
DSTV, I
Yeah.
think they had more rights to show football. At some
Yeah,
point, they
we
didn't
show
even have
football
the rights to show football
Yeah.
like that. We used to
True.
just watch
highlights, news,
highlights.
stuff like that. It's
So a
true.
lot of
It's
things
true.
happened. The
It's
Champions
it's
League.
just that moment.
Champions League,
Those
yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
It's
Because
true.
Liverpool
It's
was
true.
just as big, right? Remember, they
Yeah.
won the Champions League, but they didn't have that many
They
supporters.
didn't have that many supporters. It's true.
But Chelsea was just huge. I don't know. They identified with so many footballers in the club at the time.
At the time, they blew up. So
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right, man. Let's talk about the Great Coalition. Hey. The Great Coalition. Okay. Atiku, Rufai, P2B. What's Ameachi's first name? Rotimi Ameachi. That guy is so Nigerian, Ameachi. So Nigerian, and he lies very well like a Nigerian.
Yeah.
David Mark, ETC have formalized coalition.
We're still mentioning David Mark's name in 2025.
Bro, it's
insane.
David Mark is
about.
insane.
It's insane.
David Mark.
That guy has been a governor, been a Senate President. Bro, come on, man.
When David Mark left that Senate President role, he now went back and was just a Senate. I was seeing him in the interview, and he used to sit at the very back, just chill. He won't even say anything. Anyways, Nigeria's two main opposition leaders have joined a new political party to challenge President Bola Tinubu and his ruling party in the next election. Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi have chosen the African Democratic Congress, ADC, as their new political home after breaking away from their respective parties, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and the Labour Party, LP, respectively. This is one of the biggest shakeups in Nigerian politics since the end of military rule in 1999. Some political heavyweights from Tinubu's All Progressive Congress APC party have also thrown their weight behind the formation. Why have they joined forces? The announcement is the culmination of a series of talks between the leaders to put up a united front in the 2027 election rather than splitting their votes. Tinubu won the 2023 election with just 35% of the vote after opposition supporters were divided between Abubakar, who got 29%, and Obi with 25%. Obi had broken away from the PDP after the party chose Abubakar as its presidential candidate. At their unveiling with the ADC, interim chairman David Mark, oh my God, David Mark is actually the interim chairman. This is crazy. Guys, if you don't know, or if you've not read any books on Mark Solon, this might not surprise you, but if you have, you will understand the history. Anyways, the interim chairman, David Mark, said it was an attempt to save the country's democracy and to stop Nigeria from becoming a one-party state. Both the PDP and LP are also battling internal crises, which some believe were instigated by external forces. Analyst Shehu Ilyasou said Abubakar and Obi are learning the lessons of the last election. He says both Atiku and Obi felt they came so close in 2023 and would have maybe won on a joint ticket, so they want to amend their mistake by working together this time around, he told the BBC. So who else is in the ADC? Let's see. You have political heavyweights in the coalition include Senate President David Mark, former Senate President David Mark, as we mentioned, who, like Atiku, is leaving the PDP, along with its former chairman Uche Secondus, and former Tinubu ally turned foe Nasir El Rufai, and powerful minister in the last dispensation Rotimi Amechi. Oh, they didn't even mention what's the name of that Buhari's speaker, one of his publicists or
who is that?
Senior special assistant on media affairs. Eneche, what's her name? That woman.
Oh, Loretta.
Oh,
Loretta. Oh, she's in the coalition.
Yeah, she's part of the coalition.
Yeah, she is.
All right.
And a horrible weeks.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's part of the coalition. So yeah, now we would just have to see if how much Obi and Atiku can work together. You know, who's going to let's go straight to it. Who's going to run for president here?
I saw some funny comments from Atiku yesterday. When I was talking about if I become president, I will do this.
Yes, he has launched his campaign. Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening
yesterday? Yeah.
So these ones are joking. You know why? There's still going to be a primaries.
Yes, no.
They are not
Yes,
ready.
sir.
They are not ready. You don't know who you are. See, what did I put in the group that day? I said the what is going to happen in 2027, they are people are going to write about it for centuries.
Also, I think
wait, quick question, please. When the CPC and the AD joined pre 2015, was there a primaries? Or was Buhari the unanimous?
I can't remember.
There was a primary, but you could tell that the reason it's just for like a democratic process.
Yeah, to
if I
fulfill all
remember,
righteousness.
to fulfill all righteousness. But it was obviously known that Buhari was going to be. It was clear from the coalition of the APC in 2014 that Buhari was going to be the candidate of the party. But I have to confirm if there was a primary.
I'm trying to confirm.
Okay, please confirm. Atiku even involved in that primary also. I think he was.
APC?
Yes.
In 2015, yes, he was. He lost. Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
APC.
he did. I remember.
He did.
Is it 2015, Abi?
It's 2015 now.
They had their primary at Tafalaba TBS now, somewhere on the island, where all the hotel rooms were booked. That I remember clearly. When we were in post, there was a primary.
Have you confirmed that again?
Yeah, I'm saying. I think I saw a report now. Yes, it happened at the Teslim Balogun Stadium.
Yeah.
The aspirants in the APC were Buhari, Atiku, Kwankwaso, Rochas Okorocha, Sam India, Isaiah, and then there were some void votes.
Yeah,
So I
look
remember
at,
that
look at the top three guys.
it was reported that Tinubu told Atiku that he should still stay in APC. That
should
Buhari
still stay
only
in
do one
APC.
term. That Buhari only do one term, then he will be next. Which
That's
is the
so.
biggest lie by any Nigerian politician anyway.
No, I think Buhari got in there and even was like, Tinubu, you can F off.
Oh yes, that was it now. He told him to fuck off now, until the next election cycle.
We obviously don't think they stand a chance. Just mainly because I don't see the election as like I don't think it's going to be free and fair as Osagie has hinted.
See,
if people
it's
want to
going to
understand,
Steve,
it's going
to be the most diabolical election that we will see. What we will see with our, you know how everything is always done in coded, or we'll say, oh, someone snatched a ballot box.
You see how we whisper about what happened in Port Harcourt last time.
Do you understand? Or that you see some INEC results that have been, bro.
Or live stream it this time.
It will be broadcast live as people are carrying out some of the most diabolical things, and we won't be able to say anything. I know the craziest thing. People who support this government and who want this government will come out and say, oh no, it's free and fair. Like one of our fintech bros who came out the last election. Who said, oh my God, CNN, it was free and fair. We loved it. It's the same thing. Steve, what were you saying?
No. To your point, I was even adding to your point because like Tinubu is not he's not a pushover. He's not the type of man like I'll say Jonathan that you think you can beat as an incumbent. Like that idea shouldn't be in anybody's head. That Tinubu is someone you can beat as a president. Isn't also, I don't think anyone in the coalition, especially the main figures, I don't think they have what it takes to beat Tinubu. Not in terms of popularity, but in terms of other factors that are involved in Nigerian politics. Diabolical means from rigging to influencing. In short, let me go here. In 2015, Jonathan kept saying something, saying my ambition is not worth the lives of Nigerians.
Yeah, the blood of Nigerians.
The reason he was saying this was because ahead of that election, Buhari never wasted any opportunity to let anyone know how badly he wanted to become president. Like, also, this is a man who had the support of a region that is quick to violence, to be very honest. 2011, nobody can argue that Buhari was soundly beaten in 2011, like even without any rigging. Like Goodluck Jonathan was clearly the most popular.
Yeah,
was the most popular of both of them. He was favored. Bro, 800 people were killed in the violence that broke out. Listen, 800, like 365 churches were burnt. There were 3 days of riots in Jigawa, Bauchi, Adamawa, Katsina, Sokoto.
The guy was trying to create unrest.
Bro, youth corpers were killed. Till today, Buhari never took accountability.
He
No,
didn't.
he never
He
said-
was never held accountable. He never took accountability. Do you get? Ahead of the 2015 election, he maintained that disposition that, see, my people are ready to do anything. Like Buhari was, but these people said they were going to form an alternate government if they
Yeah.
lost the election.
If they lost the
Yeah.
election.
Like these guys didn't care. Rufai was on the other hand using Fulani to threaten people
Yes, that
that they don't forget and forgive. Blah blah
They
blah.
don't forget.
Like
Yeah,
these guys were diabolical.
they were putting ethnic tension in the
Thank you.
in the whole mix.
So ahead of that 2015 election, everybody knew. Jonathan knew. That's why he had to quickly make that call. That call probably saved about 1,000 lives.
Like,
It
You
saved
know.
lives. If,
Yes.
if they had prolonged that,
If there was a hint that he was not going
they
to
would
accept
have
that
activated
election,
people.
they've activated people.
Yeah,
That's how Nigerian elections are won. Peter Obi, we all know is not like that.
he's not going to play
He
that
had-
card.
Because if Peter Obi was like that, you know what would have happened in the last election, especially someone who was in control of young people.
Someone that won
Atiku-
Lagos.
Thank you. Atiku is not in that. Like Peter Obi's demographic, they have they can be violent online, but they're offline. They're no, they're not they. Do you get? Atiku clearly has not shown he doesn't have that temperament. If he's to influence with money and stuff like that, he can. But in terms
He
of
prefers,
like
he
violence,
prefers that style.
he
yeah.
prefers those one. He's not that person. So we have oppositions like that in Nigeria where they can't go like we can't
They
go
can't take
like
it that far.
they can't take it that far.
And
Guess who
and
can
then-
take it that
and-
far?
And then you have Tinubu and Wike.
Guess who can take it that far? Guess who can take it that far? Tinubu
It's
and Wike.
Wike. Yeah.
Look at
You
what
have
Wike did in Port Harcourt.
See,
That's
You have
Osagie,
Tinubu
that's
and
what Ferdinand
Wike.
did.
Having
Ferdinand Vidic, where you want go?
that's
You go break
that's
your leg
that's Cavallo and John Terry.
at
Yes.
their peak.
The reason he's capturing these states, like for example, Delta State, is you can deliver your state like Tinubu, like a Wike did, and look at what is in for you. That's how he's acquiring these assets.
Yeah,
And then if
Thanos.
the person that we put as governor there is not aligning, we suspend the whole freaking
Suspend the whole freaking government.
suspend the government. We
what's
have
the
the
constitution?
we run things here.
Wait, what's
And
the
when you come
constitution?
back-
Constitution.
And
So
when you
you
come
come
back,
back-
they tell you that you only
government.
have one term.
Yes.
They only tell you that you
Yeah.
have one term. Then
And you say thank you to me.
Yes.
you kiss the
You
ring.
have to smile. You
come
have to
Abuja
kiss
and
the
kiss
ring.
Are you mad?
This is
You
Game of Thrones, baby.
People think these people are playing
See.
fair. Like Osagie said, this is going to be the most diabolical election you've ever seen
Bro.
in Nigeria.
I
Yeah.
just you know who I'm already saying rest in peace to. The people who are going to die in 2027. Do you know
Exactly.
every elections that I have witnessed, people have died?
Yes,
Yep.
man. It's
Do you know
not
there
that
has
clear, man.
not been an election that people have not died?
You will
Nope, in
collect.
Nigeria.
You will
Nope.
collect.
Like people will just die. You know, there are some people who are living now who don't know that in 2027 they are going to die
Yeah.
because of the Nigerian election.
Because
Let me
they
tell
came
you
out to
how.
vote.
Let me tell you how far people don't take this thing. Okra, my former governor in Delta State, he was the running mate to Atiku for the
Atiku in the
PDP.
last election, yeah.
He lost his state. You think a Tinubu man will lose? Hey, God. I know we always say this about Lagos, but that Lagos own, I think it was also systematically done to say, okay, you know what? Give them Lagos.
Bro,
Just give them. Make it not be like say, just give them.
What happened after Tinubu lost Lagos? You know, the gubernatorial was the next week. What did they do?
What? They activated
Bro, it
everywhere.
was like 2 weeks.
They postponed the
It was 2
damn
weeks.
freaking thing for 2 weeks. They postponed it.
Osagie,
First
let
of
me tell you
all-
what happened. Let me tell you what happened in my own neighborhood, right? So when they were counting the votes, APC guys were laughing like, Baba Ma, it's not us. Baba Ma Wale now. Bro, in all the polling units in my area, Labour Party swept it.
It shocked them. They were
Bro.
shocked.
That evening when I was walking out,
Yeah.
in front of my mom's house, ad hoc emergency meeting
Bro,
already.
do you know how
How-
much they were scolded?
Bro, do you know
Solu is still being blamed for losing that.
Yeah,
For losing
that's
presidential
L.
election in Lagos.
that's
That's one of the L that what's the guy in Agege?
Modashiru.
Obasa.
Modashiru.
Obasa.
That's what Modashiru keeps like. That's what Modashiru keeps telling him that you lost Lagos in the presidential election. What are you saying? Like you
couldn't deliver your state.
You couldn't deliver.
Yes,
If the
man.
state,
While
if
we
the
were
state
helping
elec-
you deliver your
if the state election
state.
was first and Labour Party swept it, there's no way Labour Party would have won the presidential election in Lagos.
Yeah.
Do you know how diabolical these people were? Like, listen, Okawa lost Agbo.
His own
Okawa,
main
his
state.
own community. Come on now. You think
What are we talking about?
See,
What are we
let's be
talking
honest
about?
with ourselves.
I think the greatest
You know.
sin that we've done in politics from 93 to now is underestimating how much of a mastermind Tinubu is. It is not clear for everybody to see, but it's too late.
To your points, and that's the only thing that's this coalition, the only people I'm looking at in this coalition is just because of how manipulative and how calculative they are. Is Littlefinger and Rotimi. Those two people, you don't underestimate them. I'm saying
you feel like they can still go back to the other side.
I feel that they're playing a game and they are going to win. I don't know the game. I don't know whether the game is for APC or for them.
Do you know how?
But whatever Rufai and Rotimi are doing, you have to pay attention. I'm sorry.
Yes,
they're very intelligent.
Don't take them at face value.
They're very analytical. They're not stupid at all. Both of them. You have to.
Do you know how much I not fear, but like how much I don't trust Tinubu? Do you know how much I don't trust Tinubu? This whole thing with El Rufai, this whole thing where Rufai can be a game.
Same.
That's how much I think
Tinubu
is a freaking diabolical planner. I still feel him and El Rufai are playing a game. Like they had a meeting that said, okay, from the time I get into power, we need a notable voice who's against me, and you're the one that's going to do it.
I'll be surprised if 2031 and El Rufai is the presidential candidate of APC.
It's not impossible.
I won't be surprised.
And this is not a thing of things change in the future.
No happenstance. No.
Like planned. Now they planned it now.
Take this for us. Don't take the ministerial thing. Let's fall out.
Look at the coalition and ensure that we lead the coalition. Be my voice there. Be my AS there. Then if you deliver 2031, we open the gates of Aso Rock to you.
That's it.
Let me tell you, when I was in uni, right?
Not checkers.
When I was in uni, I also joined and that's why I'm very interested in politics, because I joined, politics in university, right? I was a PRO at first. Then my second year, I became like the financial secretary, right? The president was my friend, my good friend, and everything. And, our tenure was one of the best tenures. We did like a lot of things, souvenirs. We went on like a trip. We did like an end of year party. We left like money in the bank. It was all of that. But we had these expenses that we needed to run. And then we had other people, just other people in the team that don't like you. Maybe they don't know where you're from, or they don't just align with your values. They want to spend more money. So what they start doing is they start planting messages and start, causing chaos. So the first thing that we had to do, the president and I, do you know the first thing we had to do?
Fight.
The first thing we had to do was publicly fight. We planned it. We had a face-off to the point where a departmental head had to come in and step in and say, guys, but we made it a public fight in front of the department for people to think that, these guys are loggerheads. And so the other people who were the chaos agents, right, just pulled back and said, they are loggerheads anyways, let's face other things. And that's how we're able to peacefully lead and run the ESCOs and the departments. At every meeting, we'll be at loggerheads. We would fight. It was crazy. And I think if we can do this at university level, just imagine what is being done at a federal level.
That's the incubation center for politics now. SUG now. Now they're an incubation now.
So is this coalition late? In my opinion, this should have been done in 2020.
And everyone should have backed Peter Obi.
And that's why Atiku,
even if they had backed Atiku, or which I don't want.
If they had backed Atiku, they would have won.
They would have won. With Peter Obi as vice president, they would have won.
They would have won easily. They would have swept everywhere.
Yeah,
but the thing is that it was, to me, I didn't support it because we just had like a northerner. And Osagie does not like this thing when I say it, but you have to be fair. Nigeria is you can't just have like northerners doing 16-year on a 16-year run.
I agree with you on this one now. Yeah.
No, you're always saying now the best things should come and lead. It doesn't matter where they come from.
Nigeria is not that level yet. Nigeria is not that point yet.
No, why I agree with you, Steve, is that that's not what is going to happen. They are going to be biased anyways.
Exactly.
So I agree with you that you need another. I've given it up. There's nobody who is going to go there and say, I am. Maybe Peter Obi, because Peter Obi is a bit more liberal in his thinking. I don't think Peter Obi is going to say, I'm going to appoint. Look at what Buhari did. Almost everybody appointed in the MDAs were northerners. Tinubu is reversing everything. Almost everybody is appointing
Everything.
to
Yes, yeah, he's done.
Yorubas.
from the
Sit for
southwest.
tax.
From
Yeah,
the
now.
southwest.
I don't
Everybody.
think
And that thing
Peter Obi
that's
going
what
to do
is
that.
it's infuriating them in the north.
He's
Like
pissing
there's
them
a
off in the
common
north.
there's a common saying that Abuja is not the new Lagos because
He's the new Lagos, yeah.
it's
Alasa
new
boys don't did there
Lagos.
now.
Yeah, and also like Abuja always takes on the form of the federal government. Like for example, when Buhari was president, it was known that you have to dress like a northerner to get into places in Abuja. Now it has turned like it's just Lagos. Just pick Yoruba somewhere else and
wear the
people
cap.
just
And
yeah,
wear the
it has
cap.
changed. It has changed over time now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So who's going to be the presidential candidates? That is where I think
That is
for
where
me,
the wala is.
the question is for them to even have this coalition, they must have discussed that. Because Obi
In a broad
literally
sense.
beat the PDP because he wanted to run as president. So before you have this coalition again, and that's why I was asking, are they going to do a primaries again? For me, if you guys are having this coalition, which is
It should have been clear.
with this PDP extension, basically, you're just getting the band
Yes.
back.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Right.
not under the PDP umbrella.
So it should have been clear that okay, you're running. This is who's running. You're running as vice. Let's go. Are you going to have this coalition then start arguing about who's going to run again or run
They
a
are going to
primaries? And that's why
argue.
for me, I'm wondering why you're running a primaries. You shouldn't
Exactly.
even be running a primaries. Like you should just
But-
tell us who's. Because if you are running a primaries, then Obi should have gone back to PDP and tried to run the primaries.
It's looking like it because I saw that speech from Atiku yesterday. I'm like, are you still contemplating running in 2027?
He's running.
Obi has said he can do one thing, but nobody, I don't.
Which is a lie.
But I think that I support it because after 8 years of a southerner, he has to go back to the north. It is what it is, my brother.
Yeah,
It is
here's
what
my
it
thing.
is.
Here's my
Yeah.
thinking. My own is that Atiku is going to run as president. Obi is going to be his vice.
No,
Obi
he's
can't
not
do
going to.
this
I'm not going to support that. We
And
need
not
8 years.
not what I'm supporting. It's not what I'm supporting. It's what I think they've done.
What they think
Yes.
they're going to do. Okay, let's see.
I think Atiku is going to run. Atiku is not going to be Obi's vice. He's run as
No,
a
it's
vice
impossible.
before.
It's impossible.
Uh-huh.
No, he can't do that again.
Impossible.
I think he's going to run. Atiku is going to run again, and Obi will be his vice. To be honest,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be what
It's too
will now be
late.
it will be 8 years late.
Yeah,
8 years late.
it's too late because one, Tinubu now has the apparatus. Like you've given him the apparatus, like you've given him the key
Bro,
to the house, and you are telling him to let you into the house. He's not going to allow you.
with what I saw in Edo State,
No, it's impossible now.
Hmm.
Bro, we have seen it in 2 states. We've seen it in Rivers State. We saw it in Edo State. Like diabolical levels. Like nobody should bother. To be very honest, this is going to be Obasanjo level of rigging because Obasanjo was wild with elections.
Yeah. Yeah, they say for us 2027. I know they won't bother come out. Because it's game over. If you understand
Yeah.
politics, it's game over. Once
Bro, next
Tinubu-
year is 2026. Like we are halfway into 2025. So that's next year into 2026. From January next year, election season kicks
Bro,
off and
new millionaires will be created in Nigeria 2026 off this political
all
off
this
Tinubu's-
political, all this,
off
off
Tinubu's
everything.
campaign.
Yeah.
the money that is going to go round.
New people never
But from every political party, money is going to go around. They are going to push money
Because
everywhere.
Atiku is, especially if Atiku runs, because you see that his last chance. Because he will
It's
be
his
18
last
2030, 2031. Nobody's going to vote in it. And it can't be
Nobody
that
will even
stupid,
take him
right?
serious. Nobody's
No,
even
we,
take him
we
serious.
can't actually.
We can't actually do voting
Let's
against
not do
Nigerians,
that.
no, the average. See again, guys, you are not the average Nigerians. If you look at us from an average point of view, we're stupid people.
Oh, yes, we are, clearly.
We're stupid people now. We're stupid people. Like, look at they are clear, bro. Jungle justice, so many things. The average Nigerian is a stupid person.
so many indicators.
Indicators.
Yeah, to show that we're the average Nigerian. You know, if you cut everything, you know, as they do it now, put all of us and divide it.
Slice
We're-
it. We slice
we're
it.
stupid.
No.
You want to trust the average Nigerian? It's not possible now. What's going on with Ameachi and Wiki?
No, we can just take it on everybody.
Wiki has been
Wike
on
is
the
taking
road,
on
man.
everybody.
I saw one.
So
video,
Amechi
he
went
was
on
just
Politics Today
going
with
in.
Sheun on channels.
Yeah.
He went on Politics Today with Sheun on Thursday, and Wiki became a topic of conversation. where he talked about him making he was the one that made Wiki. Wiki was just a small boy.
Yeah.
Wiki should respect him more. That he's also like really not like Wiki that used government or governance or his position to enrich themselves. That Wiki has houses all over the country. Wiki drives a Rolls Royce. That someone gave him a Rolls Royce and he rejected it. That he does not like money. Blah blah blah. Wiki was commissioning something on Friday morning and said, and just gave like a brief response to Wiki and to Ameachi and said, you know what? This night I'll be on Channels TV. This night I'll be on Channels TV. And bro, he was on Channels TV. Bro, I watched that interview. I walked home from work. It was a 20 minutes walk. So I was listening to it. So I got home. I was like, nah. This thing, I need to finish this video. So I changed because I go out on a 15K run every day. So I went on my run.
15K every day.
Yes, 15,000 steps. Yeah, 15,000 steps.
Oh, steps.
Every day, steps, not steps. So I went, sat in the park, sat on the chair, bro, for like an hour. I was watching this interview. It blew my mind. That guy is cinema. It's Trump level cinematic performance. Like Trump level. He's an entertainer, straight up. And what is signing from Tinubu? Like having that guy in Nigeria, having Wiki on your side,
in your pocket, your corner,
a huge advantage because he's shameless. Huge. He's loud, and I'm looking for
brash,
and it's very brash. Is also like brash doesn't even describe how classless he is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like he doesn't have class. He can go anywhere, and it's very dangerous to fight with because he does not have you can't. He's ready to go solo, right, in anything that he's doing. So he's taking on everybody in the coalition, from Atiku to Rotimi Amechi to David Mark. He gave a history of David Mark in that interview. And so David Mark was governor. After governor, he was minister. After minister, he was Senate. After Senate President. After all of that, they're saying he wants to come and bring change. What kind of change do you want to bring now that you didn't bring?
Actually, has a point. That's a point.
He's the perfect representation of that saying that says, no one is more loyal than a former enemy. Like I'm talking about Wiki. Like he's doing everything he can right now to prove his loyalty to Tinubu, and my brother, he's doing what a job he's doing.
He's doing a fantastic job. I'm telling
you. Yeah.
I mean, but both of them, they are best from the same feather now.
Yeah, of course. But just that they are different. Like Tinubu is like more.
No, I'm saying Wiki and Ameachi. They are the same thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, he spoke about Wiki. The funniest part was when they said, Shehu said, he said you have houses everywhere. Wiki said yes, I do. Wiki said, Amechi was governor for 8 years. Then he was minister for 8 years. If he does not have houses, it's a spiritual problem.
That is crazy.
Then he went ahead to just name like the houses that Wiki has. Then he also revealed how Wiki's wife has a contract from the NDDC to train Niger Delta women, 48 billion naira every year, 4 billion naira a month. That's what they pay him. They said they did a forensic on NDDC, and the report is with the president, and he was begging the president to release it. To release it. That's how. Yeah. I've always known that Rotimi is just like a liar. He's a very big hypocrite. He comes out as this intellectual who has never taken advantage of his positions or whatever it is, but he's a bad man, So
yeah, it was his deputy now. They should go and sit down, two of them.
Not deputy. He served under him as chief of staff for 4 years.
Wasn't his deputy governor?
No, Wike was never deputy governor. He was chief of staff for 4 years. Then he went to federal under good luck to become minister of state for works,
and then came back to be governor.
To become governor, yes.
Interesting. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. There you have it, guys. Coalition is in full effect. Let us see what happens. A federal high court has ordered the Senate to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti. She was also fined 5 million naira for contempt due to a satirical post against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. If you guys can recall, Senator Akpoti was suspended from the Senate for 6 months for alleged gross misconduct after she accused the Senate President of making inappropriate advances toward her during a visit to his home in December 2023. So basically, the court
Yeah, the
has
court has
said,
done the right thing. Like the right thing in terms of like recalling, ordering her recall, not the 5 million naira fine for contempt. But like, how can you just like suspend somebody that was voted in to represent
people.
like the people? It's almost like the same thing as like suspending the governor, you know, and installing like a military leader in the state. Like you can't just suspend a senator. Yeah, she has fought well. She has fought well. Like I said, this woman is battle tested from fighting her recall process to this in
Fighting the
courts.
governor.
Yeah, I think she has really done well for herself, and hopefully I think she has done the best she can with this whole case against Senator Akpabio. I just wish she can just move on and just continue her term as senator and just do her work, because I
You
don't
know she's
think
not
in the
coming back.
Nigerian contest, I think she knows she can. There's a limit you can go with fighting the number 3 man,
Yeah.
the third most powerful man in Nigeria. She has made her points. I think that point has been taken. Yeah.
all right, I wish everybody the best there. Quick one in the news. The PFN President Bishop Oke says church takeover of industrial estates are a sign of a revival. All right, so in an interview with Punch newspaper, which I do not, implore anybody to read, terrible interviewer, terrible interviewee, both of them should go and sit down. Anyways, the interviewer says some areas marked as industrial estates in some large cities in the country have been taken over by churches. Don't you think this is a factor that can worsen unemployment in the country? Or maybe in this case, worsen employment or see unemployment further worsen? Anyways, he replies, not so at all. You see, the spiritual controls everything. What is happening that you have mentioned is a mark of great revival in our nation. God has opened the heavens upon us graciously and has poured the Holy Spirit on us, poured his word upon us, and many are turning to the Lord, and the church is growing. If our people are spiritually sound and healthy, they will impact this nation very positively. Nigeria would have been a hell but for the presence of Christians who are praying, who are living righteously, who are living godly. And I tell people that we need to do what we need to do for Nigeria is I tell people that all we need to do for Nigeria to collapse is for the saints of God to stop praying. If the Christians in this nation stop praying, the nation will collapse. This was said by Bishop Oke, who is the national president of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. So all I want to say is thank you for our Christians in Nigeria who have been praying fervently every day. If not, this nation would have collapsed.
Yes. Because right now it has not collapsed.
It doesn't. All right. I also saw this story. I cannot verify how true this story is, but it was tweeted by someone and it sounded very personal, right? And hey, man, we got to discuss it. All right. So this person's tweeted, can't believe George Residence Ikoyi. You guys know the hotel in Ikoyi called the George.
Yeah,
Yeah?
the great church, yeah.
Yeah, it says, can't believe the George residence charged me 60,000 naira for a bed sheet because my period came unexpectedly. Travel stress messed up my cycle, something completely natural, and instead of showing empathy, they turned it into a money grab. A friend had the same issue in Vegas. The hospital gave her pads and tampons for free. That's what real hospitality looks like. But for Nigerian businesses, no compassion, no professionalism, just greed dressed up as a policy. What's your take on this, guys?
Wait, did she say her friend was giving free pass at a hospital or a hotel?
Sorry, did I say hotel in Vegas? Sorry, if I say hospital, sorry.
Yeah, man. I think that's a bit too much from George.
Yeah,
I think,
it's
come
too
on.
much.
Human compassion. Come on. It's not as if she decided, nah, come on. How about now?
Charging
as if
someone
she-
60,000 naira
It's
because
not
the
as if
person's
she did a
period
free
came.
call for something. Like, it's just
Bro,
It didn't do- yeah.
charging is diabolical. It's crazy.
That's
My problem with
too much.
my problem with Nigerians is that she'll make this complaint and move on instead of just maybe looking for a way to contact the FCCPC, the
Yeah,
customer
people.
protection.
Yeah, people were tagging
Yeah.
them in the tweets.
Oh,
Steve,
that's the best. That's
Steve,
the first thing to do. Yeah.
Steve, I understand what you're saying. As a matter of fact, if this happened to like someone I know and everything, I will implore the person to write a proper letter and even
Yeah.
get like their lawyers to write them and inform them that
Yes.
they've informed the FCCPC. Do you understand
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
But you see the problem. You know the main problem. Things don't work in this country. Justice is not.
try it out first before you complain. See, listen. There's this. We used to have this complaint about, oh, this church used to disturb us at home, blah blah blah. And I used to tell people, ask Jude Boss. I used to tell people, just call the Lagos State noise, blah blah blah, something. Call them. Jude did it, and they came like in 1 day or 2 days. I did it in my street. They came in like
Those
in 2
guys
days
walk.
or so.
Those guys
I was
walk.
going to Kazim's house one day. I followed the back gate that was like 9 a.m. about 10 a.m. and the gate was closed. I took a picture. The picture is still on my phone. I took a picture. I went on their DM and sent them a DM. Bam. I don't know if they came there or not. I just know that I never saw that gate closed again. Never. Just do it. Just do it. It's better you do it and they don't follow through. You even have a better story to tell.
Fair enough. Okay,
Right?
so you were talking about the Lagos State government's, the Lagos State Environmental Protection Agency,
Thank
LASEPA.
you.
LASEPA,
Thank
yeah.
you.
So they have something called the Lagos Noise Pollution Law. They have decibel limits,
Yeah.
enforcement and permits, religious and entertainment venues, public awareness, reporting violations, environmental management law, zero tolerance policy. So for the
They work
decibel
like
limits,
mad. Yeah.
different noise limits are specified for various areas and times of the day. For example, residential areas typically have a daytime limit of 55 decibels and a nighttime limit of 45 decibels. Industrial areas have a daytime limit of 90 decibels.
Yeah.
So if you're going beyond that,
They're coming to close it down straight
They've
up.
locked a nightclub in my area before now. Those was always
Straight
loud,
up.
making noise at night. They shut them down one time.
Just report people. That's it.
so I implore rather this person to just write the FCCPC.
Try it
Yeah.
there first and see.
Yeah. Write the FCCPC, bring some awareness to it. Maybe she also see this thing is also a bit, bringing it publicly. Like the tweet I read, there was no profile picture there because you're a bit.
Yes,
you know how
it's a personal.
how it is in Nigeria.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
are reluctant to
You're
engage
reluctant
because you don't know how
because-
to.
Because in Nigeria, the way they raised up girls, and I don't know if they still do it now, but I feel like they do, is they made them look like having a period is shameful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had that, witnessed that.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
When
It's
you
true.
grew up in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
They
so you
made
don't
girls
have to
having
further.
period like feel shameful. They made experience, especially for women, because guys it was different. For women, they made women experiencing puberty as almost like a taboo.
as a uncomfortable experience.
Yeah. So she might be dealing with that as well.
I think it's also a class thing. I think she was like a regular customer, like someone who they know, who they respect. I don't think they would have done that to her, to be very honest.
But I can't say,
I've
I
not
just
been there.
want
I'll
to
say-
it's
I'm not
just some,
slept today, so I don't know.
it's just
I'll
some,
say
I have,
if
it's some
a
bullshit.
repeat, if it's a repeat customer that they know, this person is very rich and they respect. I'm not sure they would have done that to her. That's just what I feel.
Who was that conversation like? Madam, sorry, as you have stayed in the bed now, you have to pay 60.
No, it will just be Nabil. It will be Nabil when she's going now.
It can't be Nabil
Yes,
because they wouldn't have checked. She would have checked out. Did they go and check the room before she checked
Oh,
out?
that's true, sir. That's true.
No, they come and
So
clean your room every
she
day
most
or something.
likely, she probably
As
most
in-
likely told them.
Inform them.
Yeah, that's what I think. Or if she spent like a day, maybe she spent more than a day, definitely, right? But I don't know,
But
man.
charging stuff, that's
It's
crazy, sir.
it's just like charge, bro. Like 60K. Is it to get the new bed sheets? Are you giving me the old bed sheets?
Exactly. It's insane.
Are you charging? Is it 60,000 naira for laundry services at Garment Care? I'm trying to understand what the money is for, what they're charging her for.
And judge has not released any statements, right?
No, nothing.
No, the pressure is not enough now. When there's
Okay,
a huge
true.
campaign, they will now come out. But not now. The pressure is not much now. They need like a VDM. You know,
P1 real estate
public.
company.
Yeah, they need public shaming. Do you know that
Yeah.
P1 guy? What's his name? Scotty Guma. You don't know what it is. Sujimoto paid his staff now.
Yes, now.
Yes, he did.
Was when
And
his
he came out
staff
to
salary
announce.
for 6 months. This guy went
Yeah.
on Sujimoto's ass.
Yeah.
And the guy started paying all the money. Like, this is what Nigeria, once you publicly shame
We need vigilantes like that now.
somebody, because Nigerians, they don't care if they are criminals. They only care if some sort of disrepute is coming to them publicly. That's when they start to adjust. So this judge, like you said, if they raise a whole campaign about this thing, they are going to come out and say, oh, blah, 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 you know, and all of that. Then they do some giveaways. They'll call Pamela and do some giveaways. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're in trouble. Anyways, I want to play a video from
A pastor.
how do you know?
Is in the talking points now?
Oh,
Which
yes,
pastor?
from Sam Adeyemi, please.
Oh, this stuff.
Yes. He talks about something very important. This is very key. Let me play for you guys.
We have cultural taste for poverty. Really, it is the poverty that we have taste for more than the prosperity. I attended an interview on Channels Television some days back. Just before we started the discussion, they played this video of some young people in this country that wrote exams recently. They had to write the exams into the night. And in that video, you saw those young people holding candles and torchlights to write the exam. I said on TV that if it was elsewhere, that was enough to ground this country. If we understood the implications, because what goes into a mind comes out in a life. I said, you want to see what our country will look like in 20, 30 years' time? That's it. Because that is what is going inside these kids. If that is what is normal for them, that's what's going to be normal. So you wonder why somebody becomes a senator or becomes a governor and does not have empathy for poor people. That's why. If that was normal for me, why should it not be normal for you? Now that I have breakthrough, that's my breakthrough. God will do your own. That's the attitude in this country, right? Cultural taste for mediocrity. There is power called for long hours. And then all of a sudden, the power comes back and everybody shouts, up NEPA. And then, oh, they supply the power for like 10 hours. And it's like, wow, they're really trying to supply darkness. I could go on and on. There are different areas like that where I see the cultural taste that poverty, underdevelopment has produced in us. I noticed something though. The person God would use to deliver Israel from Egypt and to take them to the promised land. You know what God did? He did not allow him to grow in the slave camp. He organized for him to grow up in Pharaoh's palace. The person that will lead us out of the mediocrity cannot be the one that is saying up NEPA because they brought power. It is the person that cannot take it, that thinks it's not normal. So God put him in a different environment so he could have a different cultural taste.
I do not necessarily agree with the last part of his point, but you guys get the message, the general message.
He hit the nail on his head correctly.
And Oluyemi Ojo, shout out to Oluyemi Ojo. He had something to say about this video, right? And he shared a personal experience. I want to read it. He says, this video triggers me a lot. Every time I see it on my timeline, I'm triggered and angry because I had the same experience in 2000. 25 years later, it's still happening. I wrote my SSCE in 2000, cleared all subjects, but then the English result was cancelled. In those days, nothing like social media to rant and hold WAEC accountable. So anything you saw, you took it like that. With English cancelled, I look forward to the GCE I had registered for, knowing I just needed to focus on that English. I prepped for it like my whole life depended on it. My center, Community Grammar School, Ayobo Ekpaja. I remember these things because as a kid, that event took a toll on me. The day we wrote English, the essay was in the morning, while the objective was supposed to be in the afternoon. The morning papers went smoothly until it was time to write the objective in the afternoon. The WAEC rep didn't show up until around 7 p.m. They locked the gate so no one could go out. When he eventually came, we were told to go out and get candles before the exam could start. Come back in 10 minutes. 17-year-old me was running around Ayobo to buy candles to write the SSCE in an area I didn't know at almost 8 p.m. I won't talk about how people selling candles hiked the prices immediately. Candidates were buying candles and cutting them in half. Some folks submitted the answer sheet. We can't do wax everywhere. Guys,
When
Yeah,
we
this is
said that
this is
the
terrible.
JAM registrar should have been fired, people were saying he's a good man. He was
He
crying.
did a good job in Osagie school.
Yeah, he
Which
actually
he
came out
didn't.
open. He actually came out to confess that, oh, this is the problem. We don't hold people accountable. Mediocrity is too ingrained in our society. It has become acceptable. In short, if you are not mediocre in Nigeria, you are seen as crazy. You are seen as weird. People go to their jobs. Sorry, people go to their jobs and do not want to do their jobs, and they expect salary at the end of the day. When they receive a query from their team lead, they say, "Oh, this person is wicked. He doesn't want them to eat. He's a wicked person. He's an enemy of progress." And we see how that restored Nigerian life to where we are right now. What happened in WAEC where students had to write in darkness? Somebody should have lost their job. Somebody should have lost their job. The person that was in charge of the technical glitch, that was running for the technical glitch in JAMB, kicked out. Your contract is dismissed totally. You will never work with the federal government again. And these are people who learn and sit up. But no, we are allowed rubbish. So we are not a rubbish people. We're in a country where government will build gutters and they can't close it. And you now say Lagos is smelling. Why will Lagos smell when gutters are open everywhere? Please, I beg. Osagie,
I think the problem we have in Nigeria is that the class of people that he just mentioned, that people who are who don't have that cultural mindset for poverty. Any society, any revolution that happens has to come through them. But the problem is that in Nigeria, those people are really the minority, right? Which is the middle class. Because the elite will not do that because they are enjoying the benefits of being in the positions they are.
Yeah.
And the poor people, the people at the bottom level of the economic scale, are not empowered and exposed enough to understand that they're in a system that is not fair.
Yeah.
So the only people that have this understanding is the middle class and is the minority in Nigeria. And the reason why they are minority in Nigeria is because that's why underdeveloped economies, the middle class is usually shrinks. The less your middle class, the less the economy or whatever. I don't know how to put it. But the problem we have in Nigeria is that we don't have enough of the middle class to drive this change, right? The middle class get frustrated and leave. That's just the only solution for them. They are not empowered enough to stay and organize to drive these changes. That's just what Nigeria is just like a country where the top 1% or whatever it is are just taking advantage of the whole situation to enrich themselves. And the poor 90% are just suffering from the effects of bad governance and whatever, and the systematic issues that we have. Why the 9% or 8% middle class are not empowered enough to drive these changes that is required. That's just how I analyze this situation.
Okay.
Because you don't expect the rich people to come and they're balling.
Revolution.
I don't think that how it works. But before I get to your point, Steve, I just want to mention, just back to what Yomi said, right? This story Yomi gave us is 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If someone told you this story and said this story happened in the last WAEC, you would believe it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know how crazy that is? The time span is 25 years.
Do you know that?
Do you know what 25 years is?
A country can move from underdeveloped to developing nation in 25 years. If you are serious. If everybody in that country has their thinking cap, their thinking facilities working. That's what 25 years can do.
25 years and the story is the same. It's the same story. Because just this past WAEC that was written and JAM and whatever, we saw kids using candles
to write.
It's 25 years ago. Where were we all in the year 2000? Think about it. You know how old 25 years? Bro, year 2000 was Euro 2000.
Yes, no.
Anyways,
David Beckham was a Manchester United player in 2000.
That's one thing. The second thing I wanted to say, Steve, is what you said, right, about the middle class and all of that. To be honest, you are right in one point. The middle class will always supply those revolutionary ideas, right? Mm-hmm.
The
leadership
ideologies.
talents, the connective tissue for you to think and everything. But to be honest, it is the elite that will always supply the resources and the legitimacy of it.
Yeah.
True.
They are the ones that will always fund it. They'll say, oh, it's true, where we are going to. You know what? Let's give you military cover. Let's give you military leverage to topple this thing. Let's give you this. We
Technological
have
cover,
this
yeah.
access. We have this access to the international community. We have XYZ. We have XYZ. And guess what? Like you said, they are not doing it.
They're not doing it because the elites we have in Nigeria are in that position because of Nigeria. They're taking
actually not
advantage of the
just
system.
elites. They're just rich people.
They're just rich people. Sorry, we're calling them
this
elite
thing-
in the sense that, like in the
in
like
that
in terms
context.
of economic
Yeah,
class.
that's
Yes,
right. But it's just
just because of the
basically
financial status.
they're
Not,
rich.
it's just
in
financial status. Not
in thought process,
in critical thinking, in nothing
in how
separates
to
them
build,
from the
like
poor people.
in how to like build societies, everything.
Nothing.
Values.
Nothing.
Values.
In
Values.
value
system. Thank you. Nothing.
They are not
Nothing
elite at
separates
all.
them. Yeah, they're not elite at all. I'm just talking about in financial class.
And
reason
this is why
we
it's
don't
happening.
expect
This
them-
is why they are not
Yes.
funding anything.
because the more Nigeria is the way it is, the richer they are, the richer
Yeah.
they become. Yeah. So why fight the system that enriches them?
They are not even educated.
Yeah, most
Thank
of them
you.
are educated. Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. You know,
And that's why
just
they
the-
bankroll the campaigns
That's
of
the-
these politicians.
Yeah, that's the condition we find ourselves in Nigeria. And we're not having the right number of elites and the right number of middle class to come together to drive the change that is required.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. That's just how it goes. You know.
Okay, now the last news bit: Tantalizers. You guys remember Tantalizers?
Are they still alive?
Remember that Desmond Elliott advert? Has she been tantalized? Have you tantalized her? Anyways, Tantalizers PLC announces a partnership to revive DBN TV, reveals plans to promote African storytelling. Right? Tantalizers PLC has announced that it has signed a memorandum of understanding on June 25, 2025 to partner with Deg Broadcasting. Is that Dege?
Dege. I think it's called Dege or Degwe.
Oh, Degwe Broadcasting Network. First time I know the meaning of DBN actually.
Oh, for real?
Owners, I'm telling you, owners of DBN Television, the company disclosed this in a notice filed with the Nigerian Exchange (NGX), signed by Secretary Olamide Babawale Mo. Now, if you guys don't know DBN Television, DBN Television was very popular in the 2000s. This is very post military era. It was one of the TV stations that sprung up in that era. Just after, I'm heavily inspired by AIT, which was around the
It
military
came
era.
before AIT. It came before AIT.
Wow. Okay, so I stand corrected. Ayo, please go ahead.
So DBN came out before AIT. It launched in Lagos. And for a lot of young people, they started gravitating towards DBN because it offered a new variety of programs, especially in the child belt region and stuff like that. And also in terms of entertainment, they used to host entertainment shows. I remember them hosting a talent hunt show that was won by a certain guy who later became face of Plantation Boys. He actually won a singing talent, yes. And they had this movie show called Night Shift. Brilliant idea. They give like 4 films. You guys call in and vote for the one you want. The film with the highest number of votes. The two films with the highest number of votes will be shown that
Back
night.
to back.
Back to back. And it was amazing. DBN ran for a while and it was top notch.
I enjoyed DBN because it was a breath of fresh air from what we were experiencing at NTA.
Yeah.
The private stations then, AIT, DBN, Clapperboard, they were,
Clapperboard.
very different. And, they showed foreign movies. The entertainment section on the local front was less cultural and more like pop culture. I remember Umaogoli show. Umaogoli used to have a Friday show.
NBI.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Point Beats, OJB and his crew, Silver Point, they had a 30-minute show. That's how big. So when people Mo Hits were big, all these guys were big. Yes, they were big, right? Silver Point had a whole TV show that they ran, at some point, Groove Voids. There was also another show that had a guy who used to plait his hair with the chick. Remember that show?
Groove Voids, the Frida. And,
was that Groove Voids? Yeah, and the guy was
Efrida, this guy that died, what's his name? The singer, director, and singer. I forgot his name. Nomolus.
Yes,
Nomolus was
thank
on that
you.
show. Yeah, that was a good
Nomalos.
voice.
Nomalos was also on the Silver Point show. So he had all of that going on. So yeah, it's good to see if they can revive DBN. I'm sure it's entirely different now. They have to also have a digital strategy, everything. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. So I see that Nairametrics has been doing a lot of Tantalizer PR because there are two more stories about Tantalizers here. Yeah, but yeah, just to mention, in mid-May 2025, Tantalizers announced its entry into the entertainment industry with the acquisition of Grand Media Projects Limited, a company owned by filmmaker Tadi Ogidon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
a
I see they are
filmmaker.
moving into they're moving into the media space. And let's see what
Is
they
the
do.
fast food industry not?
No,
not
funny enough, they've
profitable?
also moved into other spaces. In December 2024, they acquired the assets of Dan Beta Marine Services Limited, a marine and
Oh.
fishing business based in Apapa with an existing fleet and related equipment.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
March 2025, they went into partnership with a US-based Queen Fisheries and Harvester Fishing Company for the acquisition of 10 fishing trawlers, part of its plans to explore opportunities in Nigeria's blue economy. So it's good to see that because, man, Tantalizers is. I mean, I've not been in Nigeria for a minute, but
I've been there, bro.
before I left, they weren't tantalizing that much, you know.
It's a ghost town.
Yeah, I mean, you still had customers because you know, when I remember I was working in that Okpebi region, I the same as you. That's where we were going to buy food now. At some point in 2020, in 2019, 2020, and I think a bit of 2021, because they had some outlets in Ikeja and all that. The thing is, you have a lot of other restaurants that have sprung out that give exciting meals. Cooking is better, the ambience is better, etc. So everybody's competing, you know, in the food business. Also, it's expensive to eat out these days. I don't know about you guys, man.
It's very expensive. No try album. If you go over Drew, you go feel that.
You know, there's always rice at home, so it's good to diversify your portfolio. Always, right? Always. All right, man, guys. I don't think we can go into pop culture if we want to read fan mail.
No hard now.
Just pop culture.
You want us to do fan mail?
Yeah, because fan mail we didn't finish fan mail the last one, and then the fan mail of this week will be.
We're not going to finish it this week if we start again. Can we just do next week fan mail?
Okay. No, because you don't have some things that are out of context by next week.
Oh yeah, no, let's go. Why not?
Or do you want us to discuss this, then do a fan mail episode next week?
That's what I was.
That's what I was saying. I should do fan mail episode next week.
Okay, then guys, write to us if you like the fan mail. We don't know. You know, do you guys like fan mail or no fan mail episodes? Let's know as well. Do you guys prefer us reading the fan mail in the episode? Please let us know. All right, so Steve just feels like the fan mail is going to be long, so he doesn't want to read it.
No, we can skip the pop culture too and go to fan mail. Like
no. It's okay. It's okay. Let's just do this week in history, then we do pop culture, and then we do the fan mail episode in next week.
All right.
Yeah?
Then.
All right.
What we should be doing is 2 episodes and putting one on Patreon. But hey, man.
Yeah, true.
Let me just leave it like that. No, I'll keep it a buck.
Well, the Baba Blue.
Anyways, let me just keep you moving. Yes, this week in history.
Oh, yeah.
This week in history. MKO Abiola dies. Yes.
Hey, the big one.
What's the full meaning of MKO, Ayo?
Moshood Kashimawo Olawale or
Olawale.
Olawale. The all during the June 12 election, it was known as money
Kudi
and Owo. Yeah.
Yes.
That one enter.
Campaign slogan die.
Yeah, enter. I remember Tofa, we used to call him Thief, Ole, 419,
Abraba.
The police guy.
No, Tofa, the running me the.
Oh, the running me. Okay, sorry.
Opposition.
Yeah. Funny enough, where is Tofa? What? Let me go and read what happened. Oh, because if not, he will be running around with these guys. Do you understand?
No, I think he had a very quiet post-June 12 career. I don't think he was crazy like that.
Was he arrested?
He wasn't arrested. We just had a.
No, I'm talking about like the Babangida and Abacha. No, the Abacha era.
No, he wasn't
Like when
arrested.
Abacha was going after
No,
No,
Tofa,
just
no, not runner now. Why go there arrested?
it's
Why they go
true.
arrest him?
he had a
He
very
died
quiet.
he actually died in 2022.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, let me just quickly read his profile here. It says, Bashir Othman Tofa, 47 to 2022, was a Nigerian politician, a Kanuri Muslim for the northern state of Kano. Tofa was the National Republic Convention NRC candidate in the annulled Nigeria's June 12, 1993 presidential election, which was organized by the military government under General Ibrahim Babangida. Boom, boom, boom. Dude was a... He was, this is a good one. Okay. Tofa's stay into politics started in 1976. He was a councillor for the Dawakin Tofa Local Government Council. In 77, he was elected a member of the Constituent Assembly. During the Nigerian Second Republic, Tofa was at various times the secretary of the Kano branch of NPN. He later became the party's national financial secretary and was a national member of the Green Revolution National Committee. During the Third Republic, he was part of the liberal movement, which metamorphosized to Liberal Convention, where it was not registered as a political party. Okay, so Tofa joined the NRC in 1990. In 93, when Babangida's administration introduced the Option A4 system, Tofa was elected the presidential candidate representing Kano. During the party primaries, he defeated Peri Ajunwa, Joe Nwodo, Dahatu Tafida to clinch the NRC tickets. He was an ally of Haliu Akilu, the secretary chief at the time. His running mate at the election was Sylvester Ugo, an Igbo and a former governor of the now defunct Central Bank of Biafra. Both were members of the defunct NPN. All right, so he was defeated. After that, we didn't hear much of him. He was a businessman, oil trader.
Yeah. That's to stock the money up, bro.
An industrialist. He was the chairman of the International Petro Energy Company, IPEC. And he was involved as a board member, Impex Ventures, Century Merchant Bank, and General Metal Products Limited. That's it. So he lived kind of left politics.
So when the whole Nadeko movement was happening, what was he doing?
He wasn't
as vocal. He was doing Nadeko and he wasn't arrested, or it wasn't.
I didn't read any Nadeko here.
I didn't read anything. That's the thing. I didn't see anything.
He wasn't a member of Nadeko though. Why are you mentioning that?
I'm saying when after the whole election annulments, what was his own take? What was his position? Was he fighting for it? Was he with his
you know what? Let me search for
what was
that.
He doing? You know, because in the books that we read, he wasn't really that mentioned.
After June 12, I don't think he was really that mentioned again.
The thing is that
like other guys in that movement, what happened to him? What was his stake? Was he fighting for his mandate, or he just resigned his fate?
Bro, you lost.
I'm searching for that now.
Abiola was still fighting. Like, what's his legacy with that election? You know,
legacy was that he lost. That's his legacy.
First things first, my guy. He lost.
He lost woefully.
So Abiola lost too, but won at the end. He has a public holiday named after him.
The hell are you talking about? We're saying in that moment, Abiola won the election, so he was screaming that they should give him his mandate. Tofa lost. So what's in
okay.
Let's say they play bet, you can't lose. Somebody can't scatter.
I understand. Sorry. I got it mixed up. I'm sorry. I was thinking another thing. I'm sorry.
You were thinking it was King Gibby?
Yes.
This guy's crazy.
True.
I was like, what the fuck is Steve on?
What am I asking? Yeah.
That's why you don't lose. You
don't lose. Nothing different. That's true.
I'm searching though. I'm using GPT 03 to search. Okay, fantastic. Man, see, ChatGPT 03 is sick. It is sick. Anyways, it says, yes, Bashir Tofa spoke and kept speaking about the June 12, 1993 election and its annulment, but his remarks were generally defensive rather than supportive of the mandate many Nigerians believe MKO Abiola won. So key moments, June 14 to 15, 1993, the context as results began to show Abiola in an unassailable lead. Tofa and the NRC camp demanded outright cancellation of the vote and pressed the Abuja High Court for an injunction that stopped the National Electoral Commission from releasing further tallies, a legal move that paved the way for the formal annulment 9 days later.
Okay.
Do you see?
Yeah, Shabopu.
So you see that he was even part of the people that, sort of put the whole annulment in motion. See, he don't see saying they lose. So waiting in do, Mama will scatter everything. Ojoro cancel Ojoro, and all of that.
We will drag the game.
The 20th anniversary of June 12 in June 2013, there was a press briefing holding in Kano. He called the whole June 12 narrative a fiction, adding that continued agitation over it was a colossal waste of time and people should let the country make progress.
Okay.
In April 2016, in a Vanguard newspaper interview, when asked why he had not conceded in 1993, he retorted, "Did anybody say Abiola won? Did anybody say I lost? It was all conjecture." Then in June 2018, after President Buhari declared June 12 Nigeria's New Democracy Day and posthumously honored Abiola, he issued a public statement saying he would reject any matching honor, argued the decision was driven by sentiment and politics, and urged that designating June 12 as Democracy Day needs serious reconsideration.
He's a hater. Okay. Let's move on. He's a hater.
Well, he's dead now. And,
he's a hater.
June 12 has been immortalized. And,
exactly.
MK has been given the highest honor in the land. So, fuck him.
Yeah.
Homeboy helped engineer the legal roadblock that allowed the annulment to even exist.
Yep.
He was a hater till he died, though.
He was a hater. Maintain that energy.
Wow. I kind of respect it.
Yeah.
The guy said, if you're not going to be my friend, at least be my enemy. Anyways, MK Abiola died on the day he was scheduled to be released from prison. The billionaire businessman had been imprisoned by General Sani Abacha since 1994 after declaring himself Nigeria's president based on the results of the annulled June 12, 1993 election. An independent autopsy performed by a team of foreign pathologists concluded that he died as a result of long-standing health disease. Reading this part in Max Solon's book it gave me goosebumps.
Yep.
Because I knew he was going to die. I just didn't know how he was going to die. But he was in presence of... Like, you had all the rumors and all of that, right? But I didn't know this, to what extent the specific details of his death. He was in a meeting with Condoleezza Rice and someone else. They drank some refreshments with them, started feeling some heat, took off his clothes. The whole thing just became freaky. I think what was annoying the most, they did foreign pathologists did. Okay, it was Abacha's own. The family didn't allow Abacha for them to carry out an autopsy on Abacha's body.
It was very straight, right?
Bro, and I was just like, why won't you allow that? The family insisted no.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, rest in peace, MK Abiola. So many, how would you put it now?
He was taken out. That's what I believe. But it is what it is.
Yeah, like, homeboy died, you gotta go as well. Because guys kept saying, I am going to stand on my mandate, and they're like, no, man, nah.
Yeah, from
that's 4 years ago. Your mandate has expired.
One, your mandate has expired. Two, you don't have a track history of being a great guy. I know the whole whitewashing, people will not want to answer us, but let me tell you, I'm not. This is not my personal thoughts or anything. It's well documented. This guy was crazy. It was a money launderer, guys.
Yeah.
Guy was a criminal. Do you understand? Let's give it a buck, man. He was just like every other politician.
It was part of the problem that you think Nigeria has. Yeah.
Homeboy was funding coups. What are we talking about?
Funding coups and yeah.
Let's give it a buck, man.
Getting rich off government contracts. He was just in bed with everybody. Yeah.
And then he wanted to take over, and they're like, maybe not you.
Yeah, but the what's it called now? The psychopath that headed that now fucked up Nigeria more. But just off the June 12th thing was like, it was basic. It was obvious that, look, from the story I heard, not confirmed, that certain people within Abacha's regime said, if Abacha is gone, man, Abiola has to go. We can't go back to the June 12th thing again. We are sorry. And after that, they decided that, look, okay, we have to go, it has to be a Southwesterner, right? So who is a Southwesterner that is loved by civilians, loved by the military,
But
accepted by the
strong
North,
enough to handle the military.
yeah, and also comes from the same state as Abiola, and hence, open the
Someone who has been in jail too.
yeah, open the prison.
Obasanjo was the perfect
Baba
person.
Was the
Baba
perfect-
Yabo,
was the
Baba
perfect.
Yabo,
He ticked
come
all
out.
the boxes.
Because
Imprisoned
if-
by Abacha before.
By military rulers, yeah.
You know, also was a military ruler, right? So he's
Yeah.
going to
They
be
handed
he's
over
going-
to civilian.
They handed over to civilians, so his track record was great. He was one of the guys that handed over to civilians, did it right and left. Also, if he comes into power, he's our old boy. He's not going to put us in jail.
Yeah,
That's one of the main reasons why the military guys allowed him to run.
yeah, to come back, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Babangida went to visit him in Ota and came out. The press were there and were like, he basically hung it on his neck and said,
Yeah.
Obasanjo is going to be our guy, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It
You
was
know the point
perfect.
about Obasanjo?
It was Yoruba renewed up. You know, everything was good. Man.
You know the point about Obasanjo was that every time he has become president or head of state, it has always been against his will. It was never
Yes.
something he plotted, like,
True.
I want to be president.
Yes.
He
That's
fell
why
on his lap.
That's why he kind of like was the best candidate at that time too.
He's opposite of
Because
Jonathan.
Just imagine if we had another coup post 99, Nigeria
Oh,
would
it
have
would have
been
wrecked us. It would
long
have wrecked
gone.
us.
Jesus
It would
Christ. We are
have
still
wrecked
suffering.
us.
We're still suffering.
Yes.
We're still reeling from the effects of like what happened between 1983
83 to 1998.
to 1999 to 1998, right? Let alone, he was just the perfect candidate, and God bless him.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, man. Thank you very much, archiving guys. You know what to do. You know what to do, right? When it comes
Last
to
week you
archiving.
said they didn't update it, but they apparently updated it. Maybe you didn't open the right documents because something attacked me.
Okay, sorry.
Thinking I was the one that was responsible.
All right. Team archiving. Mona Novus.
Okay,
No,
so
no,
you admitted, you apologized. Okay.
Mhm. I don't have a problem saying sorry.
Okay.
I don't have a problem saying sorry. So
He's not a
guys,
Nigerian politician.
at all. Or I am a Nigerian politician, actually. Discover history as it happened. Explore thousands of digitized newspaper pages from 1966 to 2010. Fam, there's so much. As a matter of fact,
Bro.
what is trending as the searches on archiving website now? I don't know if this is based on the algorithm. I don't know if they fixed this year, like if it's fixed or it's based on like the most popular searches. But the searches I see at the top bar right now is Tinubu, Independence Day, Fuel, Afrobeats, Ritual, Abiola, Abacha, Cocaine, Football, Flood, Fashion, Soyinka, Budget, Embezzlement, Domestic Violence, Witchcraft. This is crazy.
I'm looking forward to another election cycle with archiving.
Oh no, it's
yes.
gonna be crazy.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be
Because
crazy.
just
You know what I
if we had archiving pre 2015, the Buhari conversation would have been different a little bit.
Yeah.
You know the kind of conversation, the kind of collaboration I would love to have seen for the last election, and I would love to see for this one, but I don't think they're there again. Is stairs archiving.
Yeah.
One giving
Stairs
us
has
data
moved-
in real time.
Stairs
but
has moved on.
Another one giving us contextual data. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
this is basically like quantifiable and non-quantifiable kind of data. Two
True.
of them, the places they are playing in, but it's nice. I clicked on the cocaine tab and it showed me 1,418 results.
Shout out to the Cook boys.
I'm clicking on one from PM News. This is year 2006. Star actress Wumi arrested for drugs.
Oh, I remember that
Excretes
case.
92 wraps of cocaine. A popular Yoruba movie actress, Hassanat Akinwande Taiwo, popularly known as Uyetunde Wumi, has been arrested by the officials of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for cocaine trafficking. Famala.
Yeah. I remember that. That was a huge scandal back then. I remember that one clearly.
Farm alarm. Cocaine in shoes. 2 men arrested. Drug trafficker breaks record. Swallows 136 wraps of cocaine. How?
In Nigeria. In Nigeria.
Yes. Now, what year was this? 2009.
God damn.
Guy was wilding. 136 wraps.
36 wraps.
Another one. Cocaine Cocaine concealed in Indomie cartons, 2007. You can tie this thing back to some things, but not be in my mouth and I could hear them from. Let's keep it moving, man. All right, so banks have resumed international transactions on Naira cards as FX liquidity improves. Got to give a round of applause for that.
Oh, thank you, Lord. GRAMMYS, here I come. Thank you.
All right, Business Day is reporting commercial banks in Nigeria have announced the resumption of international transactions on their Naira cards. After years of suspension, banks like the United Bank of Africa, UBA, Wema Bank, and GT Bank said in separate communications to customers that the service has recommenced on their Naira cards. If you can recall, the services between July 2022 and January 2023 were temporarily suspended on all ATMs and POS channels for international transactions. The shift was a result of chronic FX scarcity, which threatened the survival of key sectors of the economy. Before then, guys, if you don't know, and for a lot of young people that don't know, right? A lot of young people from that time to this time have started earning and I have bank cards and all of that.
Yeah.
And some of you have suffered in the hands of cheaper cash and those other guys, right? And I've said suffered because I'm just joking. Those guys provided an alternative payday. Those guys on
you know what I was
provided an shout out
That's
to people.
crazy.
Those guys provided an alternative way, but again, signing up the UX was difficult and the rates were
run
very
around, everything you had to do was
and the rates were very high.
Chargeback.
Yeah, chargeback also. So, but before all this period, you could use your Naira card on any international platform. It just did the FX conversion for you at bank rate, and you made the payments. Remember, as far back as 2011, 2012, I used to buy my t-shirts from Marks and Spencers. I used to buy stuff from ASOS, and it was easy. Just put my Naira card, and it works. Put it anywhere, it works. I remember when I traveled out of the country for the first time to the UK, I put my Naira card in the freaking ATM, and it dispensed pounds for me.
Yep.
That's in today looks like it can never even happen. You need a dollar card or a euro card for that to happen. So this is going to help a lot of Nigerians and ease a lot of problems. I can just sit in the comfort of my
online
house.
Transactions.
Oh my God, it's going to be so easy. Now you need to have the money, Sha.
Yes, that's a different conversation.
That's the problem now because dollar is 1.5, Abi.
Yeah. By the time I was making those purchases and buying my shirts, the dollar was 120. Oh, what a time to be alive. I didn't just have plenty money back then. So shout out to that. You can even put it in your Apple card again. You can buy, oh man.
Yeah, YouTube, all those stuff, man.
The ease. Anyways, a Nigerian mercenary fighting for the Russian military, Kende Oluwagbemileke, has been captured by Ukrainian forces in the ongoing war between the two nations. So there's a whole story about this thing, and I've been seeing bits and pieces, and I wanted to investigate and do like something more concise and break it down. Apparently, and I don't know if it's in this story, they are recruiting people from Nigeria.
Yeah? From Nigeria?
Yes.
From Nigeria.
There's a whole thing. There's a whole pipeline.
Nigerians who are staying in, who
there's a whole pipeline with this thing from like some education thing going on. I saved it, but I have not had time to really look into it. But I'll look into it and come back so that we can, really talk about this story.
That was wild.
Yeah, there's something going on. Like there's a whole freaking pipeline, something going on, right? So I don't want to really go into this story. But yeah, he's captured he's fighting for the Russian military. How? According to Ukraine, I Want to Live project, he was apprehended by the Freedom of Russia Legion, a unit composed of Russian fighters alongside Ukrainian 29 Russian forces. I do know that I know from a couple of Ukrainians. Yeah, go ahead.
No, this guy, dude, have you mentioned that he was convicted for drug offenses in Russia? And he chose to fight for Russia to get a reduced sentence. That's why.
So this is a different context.
This is a different context. That's how he joined the military. Yeah, the war.
Yeah, fair enough, man. If I make it out, I got a reduced sentence. Or if I make it out, I can just run away from here.
Reduced sentence is wild. Why not cancel the sentence entirely?
No, the guy probably looked at it and said, "Review sentence, no problem." When the word on the end, me, I go find, I go pee.
I go move
out.
Yeah.
Anyways. I know a couple of Nigerians who told me how crazy it was when the war started. Like some particular person who told me he just woke up and bombs started raining, and they didn't even have time to pack their clothes and everything. Told me how beautiful Ukraine is, how like the cities in Ukraine are beautiful, well developed, everything, right? Cold there is crazy, but the
Oh
heat
yeah,
there is
that.
also. But when it's summer, the heat there is crazy as well. But it's a beautiful
Oh
place, etc, etc. But you just wake up
That,
one day and bombs are running and everybody's running out and you're running out of your apartment. Nobody's speaking English, right? People are running helter skelter. You don't know how to move. You don't know where to go to because your community is not even close to you, right? You pick up a few things and you don't even know. You don't even know if it's war. I mean, you've been reading stuff,
yeah.
but like we've explained how war happens, right? They don't just say, "Oh yes, war attack now." The thing starts building and you're thinking, "Oh, things will die down." Of surely there won't be a war, right? And they then start running. And as they are running to the border, they are running everywhere. You have Ukrainian police, military also running after like able-bodied Ukrainian men, capturing them and throwing them in the in the truck to go and fight for their country, abandoning their families, or So all that is happening, but they didn't hold them because they were Nigerian. They weren't citizens, so they couldn't hold them to join, right, and all of that. But man, again, people always say, "Oh, we'll go to war. We'll go." You don't want to do it. Trust me.
War is nasty enough.
It is nasty. Very, very nasty. All right. Diddy was found guilty of one less serious charge and acquitted of the more serious ones. Diddy, let's read what ABC News is saying. He says, "I'm coming home, baby." Is something Diddy would say. Sean Combs
yeah.
reacts after verdict read. All right. So after the split verdict in his federal sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial was read, acquitting him of the most serious offenses, Sean Diddy Combs turned to his family and exclaimed, "I'm coming home, baby." Diddy, let me just it's most appropriate if we then do this. It's it's the only appropriate way to read this news actually.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
I'm just gonna put this in the background while I read the Diddy news. All right, so for now, though, Diddy Combs remains incarcerated hours following the mixed verdict in which Combs was convicted on 2 of 5 counts. The federal judge denied him bail while awaiting sentencing. Oh, that's so sad. After a 2-month trial, the New York jury, he said he's coming home. That's what he told his family.
Okay, yeah.
The New York jury found the 55-year-old hip-hop mogul not guilty of racketeering, conspiracies, the most serious charge. The jury did find him guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, 1 in connection with his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and 1 in connection with an ex-girlfriend who testified under the pseudonym Jane. He was found not guilty on both charges of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion in connection with Ventura and Jane. So basically, the whole freak-offs thing, they're trying to say that it wasn't like he didn't coerce them to do anything. Anyways, and it goes on and on. You guys can read the story anyway. I'm not so interested in reading it. Yeah, but Diddy
we said this previous week that it looked as if he was going to get charged for the Frico stuff.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous, like the way they wasted everyone's time, to be very honest. But I still don't understand why there was like why he celebrated and his family. I saw his son and his girlfriend dancing outside of the court.
No,
I still don't understand that. Because no, he could get up to like 20 years for the 2 counts of prostitution.
Trust me, these guys know what they already know. I believe that charge is not going to be up to 20 years.
All right, let's see.
When you said Diddy was his son was dancing, hold on first. Shut up.
When you say his son was dancing,
was he doing that? Was he doing that like his
the bar boy stuff?
Yes, he was. He was. He was.
I like that his dance. Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Wow. Let's see how many years they give him. I think it's going to be something less. That's why they're celebrating already. They might push it. You don't know. But for the jury not to convict him.
I found him guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, I found him guilty rather of those crimes. It means that they didn't think it was worth sending him to jail for.
They didn't think of reasonable. There wasn't enough proof, I guess, of reasonable doubts for them to have done that because they had to deliberate for a long time because they told the judge they still need more time to deliberate. for that particular one.
The
think
prosecutors focus more on this whole freak offs thing, and
Yeah.
that didn't get him convicted.
It felt like a public shame of disgrace that actually getting the facts down and nailing him to what was the core of the matter. So yeah,
1,500 baby oils and all of that. Now you guys look stupid.
To be very honest, while there's this like debate about the Cassis issue can be debatable whether she was a victim or not. But that Jane Doe, Jane Doe who's allegedly 50 Cent's baby mother. You're telling me that you are scared of Diddy. You are the baby mama of 50 Cents. But you are scared of Diddy, and that's why you partook in the free course. Doesn't it make sense? And a full-blown adult. She's 38. She's 38 now.
She's a grown woman.
And they started the relationship 4 years ago. So at the age of 34, you have been pressured into doing something that you didn't want to do because you were scared. While your baby father, you have a son with 50 Cents, another powerful man who hates PDD.
Now you could run to and say,
"Hey, you could run to and say, see what's happening." It didn't make sense. Everyone it doesn't make sense.
I think at one point it became too sensational than the whole thing, and just got lost in the whole source.
Yeah.
All right, man. Wish all parties the best. That's all I can do. If he's going to jail, he's been convicted. The law is the law.
The law is the law.
You must face the law. Anyways, Nigerian fintech Okra has been in the news because it has shut down while its CEO and co-founder has joined a startup in the UK. Okay. Nigerian media says the company raised a total of 16.5 million and operated for 5 years. The CEO and co-founder Farah Ashiru later confirmed that the startup had 3 years of runway, which will be returned to investors. Now I checked TechCrunch, right? And I didn't see that they raised 16.5.
The 16 million. Although she was quoted in the interview, in the Tech Points interview, they mentioned something about that while only 4 point something was reported in terms of funding, she admitted in the interview that there was another 12 million that was raised that wasn't announced. Yes, I saw it in that article, in the Tech Point article. Because I didn't want to put in the 16 million because I follow fintech news a lot. I never saw Okra raise 16 million anywhere.
I even went to TechCrunch and searched and looked at all their raises.
All their funding, yeah.
Yeah. But you can also check Crunchbase. We can know how much they raised now.
But she said outside of the ones that was announced, they raised an additional 12 million that wasn't announced. She said it in an article.
Where was the article published?
Tech Points.
Okay.
Because they had to interview her or something after the whole issue.
Yeah, I'm looking at how much they raised on Crunchbase. I'm not giving people 1 naira of my money. It's not possible. Investors, they had 8 investors. I can't see how much. Okay, financials. Let me go to financials. Oh, they blurred out how much. So you need to pay for like a trial period to see how much they've raised. Okay. But there were 3 rounds. But those 3 rounds is what I checked on TechCrunch. Anyways, if you say like they were private investors, that's fine. But I know one of their investors were TLCom Partners, Accenture Investors, Ventures rather.
Let me read that part. Why the startup only announced 4.5 million in total funding, Ashiru noted that the startup raised an additional 12 million led by Base 10 in 2022.
Aha, okay. Yeah, so that's a total of $16.5 million.
$16.5
and then the company is shutting down. So why is the company shutting down? Right? I know they pivoted from
into cloud
services, right? That's Nebula.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, right? Okay, let's read this news.
I think it's just adoption of the products. They didn't have like a lot of. I think they struggled for like product markets.
What was their products? Open banking
API for businesses.
Okay, so like Plaid.
Yes, like Plaid.
Right.
Exactly
okay.
like Plaid. Yes.
Okay, guys, if you don't know what Plaid is, let me explain to you. Let's say you want to connect you have a product, right? And then you want to sign up on the product, but that product needs to now connect to your bank account to make withdrawals from. Right? You need a technology for that to happen because the app you've downloaded where you want to probably do daily, weekly, or monthly transactions by taking money from your bank to fund whatever is in that app. It can't just happen miraculously. There has to be some sort of technology that has to then connect that platform to your bank to get access to your bank to be able to withdraw the money, and all of that. So,
But I think Okra's own was not mainly payments. It was like budgeting, financial planning, and something like that. Yeah, it wasn't. I'm not sure it was payments.
it was in the financial app space, right?
Yes, it was in the financial app. I think the way they word it is that they have like this single API that enables businesses to access financial data from various banks and institutions, right? And the main use case was that they use this insights for budgeting and financial planning. That was like the way they described their product, like their open banking
Okay,
API
so
products.
in terms of use cases, it would be like lending, giving out loans confidentially, digital
Okay.
banks, accessing crucial building blocks, personal finance, design personal finance experiences, business finance, remittances. Those were some of their top use cases, right?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see in terms of their documentation.
Why you search for it? I just think that like working like fintech is not easy. I heard that the first thing when
Fintech in Africa is not easy, man.
it's not easy. The first thing that comes to mind when people hear stories like this is that the CEO or the co-founder has run as hammered or they've
it's a lazy way of thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Startups are more likely to fail than to succeed. Like the number, like it's.
To be honest,
To be honest, Steve, from the African.
The people that were having those conversations on Twitter when they saw the news, right? They are not versed in anything that has to do with startup.
True.
The people who have the conversations in the startup community didn't have those pedestrian conversations.
Thank you.
Now, do people fail? The CEOs fail because are there bad players? Are there people
who
mismanage funds? Of course, that exists.
Yeah.
But like you said, investing in when it comes to like investing, right? And you look at your threshold. Oh, what is like safe way of investing depending on your appetite of your investment appetite, right? What is the highest risk from the safest risk is like fixed income, right? You can never lose your money and you make money or whatever. Worst case, if you don't make money, you get your
own back.
The highest risk, even higher than crypto, is investing in a startup.
Yeah, sure.
It's literally 50-50 can work, and most startups don't work. That's what people, and that's why when startups do work, it's a big deal because it covers up for every other startup you invested in that didn't work.
True.
The returns from one startup will cover all the bad debts that you got in the other deals. So if you look at almost every successful like startup investor, right? The return on investment has been great for them, but not from all the startups they invested in. It's from one. So
one or two that covers up for the losses.
Yeah, if you invested early in Facebook, when Facebook started, right, as a startup investor, then Peter Thiel and co, they'll tell you I invested in 20 other startups that I don't even remember their names now. But my returns from Facebook alone has covered up for those
everything.
ones in multiple folds, right? So startups work. I've worked for startups that didn't work. Do you understand that failed? I've worked for startups
You've worked for ones that worked,
that went on to become, billion-dollar
companies. Yeah, true.
So it's a lot.
Yeah, as someone who has also worked in fintech and like especially fintech that's serving like businesses and enterprises, it's a difficult market in Nigeria, especially a country where majority of our businesses in Nigeria are informal businesses. Like just to let you know how bad it is, we have just 150 listed businesses, publicly listed businesses in Nigeria. Like 150.
Wow.
South Africa has like over 300. America has over 5,000. China has over 5,000. That's the number. Like it's an informal economy. And how do you convince informal businesses to start using tech solutions? It's hard. Do you get? So it's hard selling to businesses in Nigeria, especially from a tech perspective, selling tech. So when companies like that, when I see companies like Okra struggle, I understand why. And I have like a lot of sympathy for them because I know what they're trying to do. But the market just doesn't demand it in that way. That's it.
Yeah,
Shout
and
out to everybody.
are you going to now get mad at her that she went to get the job?
No, it's
She
just
won't kill
funny
herself.
that you are working in a startup and your CEO is looking for a job. Just imagine being in that situation. But it is what it is, you know. Shout out to everybody.
I'm happy that she went to get a job because it shows that she didn't chop all the money. She chilled and didn't
Yeah.
get a job. And
Thank you. That's when you know that she actually chilled the money. And investors are getting some of the money back.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
See, man, it's the start of all. Nobody's going to send anybody to jail because of this. They knew the risk involved. So
Yeah.
everybody will be fine. All right, that's it. Let's get into some music. We need to get into some music. Where do we start? I know where to start when it comes to music. We got to start here, guys.
Jay Slicky, would you? If those say not just me, I'll be living like I don't care. Live my life until nobody there. If not just me, I'll be doing anyhow. Because nobody go there to challenge me. Nobody supernatural. Life versus the spirit of the carnival. The personality, no matter at all. Individuality cannot make us stall. I sing for all of y'all. Don't let anybody push you to the wall. Na community, na him make us all. Secret society, na him break us all. I don't want to be talking like a preacher at all. Don't want to do like say I sabi pass all. I know say no be everybody sabi play ball. But I rise up compatriot if Nigeria call. So make you just do your thing, make I do my thing. Live and let living instead of to be feeling like a king on top of nothing. Stop the bragging on top of the buzzing. Because you know say all the vanity vanishing. Maloro kwe omo kwe oni kolo malo. Maloro kwe no people we don't make this money. Maloro kwe omo kwe oni kolo malo. Maloro kwe no people we don't make this money. I said,
Silence, man. Usually, I just had to take that in. I'm sorry. I had to take that in. I'm sorry. Before I even get into the album, I just want to say specifically for this song, Only Me, I was listening to it now, and it is a travesty if we even put this song under the Afrobeats umbrella. I'm listening to it, I'm saying to myself, this has nothing to do, this is on an international level, no pun intended. This is music. I'm listening to the instrumentation, what J Slick was doing on the beats, how Two-Face was singing, the composition, everything. This is not Afrobeats. You can't you know, do you understand what I'm saying? You can't say, oh, this is Afrobeats. You can't lump this up with Kiss Daniel's Woju and everything. Nah, this is
Different level.
This is a standard. All right. 15 years ago, Two-Face DBI, aka Tubaba, released his Unstoppable, the international edition. Turns 15 years, you know, this year. What an album. It is a certified classic. I don't even know why Ayo said I was asking if this album is a classic.
No,
I
some
don't
people
get it.
don't know. Some people don't know now.
Yeah.
Not everybody that knows this thing. Don't forget, Afrobeat started in 2014. So let us.
This album is undeniably a classic. Too many hit songs. But Ayo, please give us some background, give us some context how we got to the international edition.
Okay, so quick background. Two-Face was seen as the gold standard of contemporary Nigerian pop music. A classic debut album with Plantation Boys. 2 classic solo albums. His first and second albums, instant classics. So going into his third album, Two-Face was at the peak of his creative powers. He was pop culture. Like he started pop culture in our own generation. He was beloved by everyone. He was a superstar, a mega star self. So after his first 2 albums, he left Kenny's music and decided to strike on his own, creating his own imprint, Hypertech Records. He had a new manager, Nazi, who was also part of his who was also doing backup vocals for him at the time. And he released the Unstoppable edition, led by the single Enter the Place featuring his late best friend, Sound Sultan. And when the full album was released, before dropping that album, he released an EP, which was very weird for a Nigerian artist to do at the time, but he released an EP with a few singles and some of the hypertech guys that were on his label. Then he finally dropped his album. Now, this album coincided with a lot of private issues going on in Two-Face's life. Anybody that knows Tubaba now knows the private issues we are talking about. So there's no need to rehash old ones or old memories. And the album wasn't well received as it was. Also, this is a time when you could say P Square and the Bunch were they were really wanted to be number one. So they were coming 100% on the albums. Check the albums in 2008 that the Bunch dropped, that P Square dropped.
Nice.
Nice. It looked as if the game was changing and Two-Face was being eased out of the conversation as being one of the greatest. And I think, and this is why I give credit to Two-Face. Two-Face was introspective enough to say, you know what? I need my winning team back. I can't go back to Kenny's music, but at least I'll go back to the manager that helped me become the number one artist in Nigeria. So he went to meet his former manager, Efe Moregbe, who now created a roadmap on how to get Two-Face back to the top. As a smart man, Efe Moregbe knew that there was nothing wrong with this album. It was just perception.
It was bloated as well.
Yeah, it was bloated. Yes, it was too much. And Two-Face was really in his dancehall reggae bag, you know. And he just said, you know what, let's trim this album. Let's do a remix with MI. He's the hot kid. Let's get a few new singles with Jay Slick on it. And let's put it out. So before the album came out, they said, oh, Two-Face was dropping an international edition. And it will not be sold in paper covers that Nigerian albums were sold in back then for 150. It will be a jewel case of 1,000 Naira. And people were saying, how is this possible? It doesn't work. But everybody, if it just said, believe the system is going to work, right? And they released the first single, Implication. And bro, when I talk about Jay Slick, Slicky, he did it.
I protect, Two-Face, Jay Slick,
Now, side note, a lot of kids today are talking about EDM in Nigeria. We need EDM in this thing. That is a perfect example of somebody light years ahead of the game. He dropped an EDM banger for us. The album, the single did well, but some people were still hating and is luck. What's the meaning of Implication? All that. He didn't even have lyrics in some of the parts of the song. Then the follow-up. Only me. Oh my Lord. That drum roll, first of all, signified madness. And the way Two-Face now entered with his vocals, hey.
And went in his introspective bag.
He did Ojo. When you hear Ojo, it's about to get serious. And when he now dropped Only Me, everybody now said, you know what? Two-Face is back. Don't let us even front on it. And people are now ready to buy the album for 1,000 Naira, jewel case. And we listen to the album, and bro, it's just insane how Two-Face was operating at a high level years after his introduction into the music game. A song like Raindrops, his most introspective song that now addressed all the issues surrounding him, is another classic. And today,
so where's the drop now? Where's the Raindrop now? Eh? This is top 5 too, Babasha. Top 3 actually.
just like teardrops falling from the sky. It is like a blessing in disguise that we fail to realize. Now I have to pay the price. See, young man, be careful and think it twice before you choose to use your device. So you don't have raindrops falling from your eyes when you see a blessing in disguise. Oh, what a sacrifice, I see that.
Oh man.
All right, man. Yeah.
Top 5.
You feel
DBN record, yes.
This guy is insane.
Two-Face reasserted his dominance in the music industry again.
Lyricism, party popping, everything. Because at that
messaging,
time, messaging, everything.
R&B,
and don't forget how Clarence Peters
singing
bring some of those songs to life.
Especially with Only Me.
Yeah,
that was a classic Clarence Peters video, man. At the end of the day. And normally in Two-Face's canon, we always say, oh, the Plantation Boys album classic, the first two albums classic. Officially now on Loose Talk, we're inducting Unstoppable International Edition into Two-Face. That's 4 classics now.
We just did that. What is done
formally.
that?
Baba, we don't. Okay, formally.
Formally.
All right, formally.
A singer has 4 classics in his discography, bruh.
We don't call him number 1 for nothing.
People
still. Some Loose Talk listeners still has a problem with us saying Two-Face is undisputed number 1. People who don't understand what's happening, man.
You don't understand.
in this new interview with Nedu,
yeah.
They do play the record. It's a new Two-Face record. My guy. God.
Shout out to Two-Face.
So 15 years, you can listen to the album on all the SPs right now. Great. And he won so many awards. Channel O, Sound City, Headies. He was just packing it left, right, and center. Yeah. A comeback to is not as good as that one.
Yeah, I've not seen a bigger comeback. I mean, Olumenten's comeback was Olumenten's comeback. Oh fuck.
Yeah, he was huge.
Yahooze. Olumenten's comeback with Yahooze was crazy.
That
From
was crazy
Mente to that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that one was bigger because it took longer. It took longer.
I put 3D as my favorite comebacks, like Two-Face, Olumenten, Davido. Those 3.
Which comeback was Davido?
Which comeback?
Okay,
the 20th.
The son of Messi flop now. Those 17.
Nah, there's a comeback that you guys haven't seen.
Who's one?
I'm going to line up.
Just play the record. Just play the record. Let us know.
I think this is a video version, but this is what I have. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's...
It never marinates.
It is marinating. Woo! 2010. Come on, man.
This video is him in the car, right?
Yeah. hold on, Jazzy feel.
Been long before me. Them say everybody looking for me. Been on tour, I've been making my money. Now I know that you really adore me, adore me. For those who no love me, no expect me to say sorry. Oh yeah, make you know about me, make you shake that booty for me, for me.
You're now listening to Loose Talk.
Doing this in front of a record is crazy.
Been long before me. Them say everybody looking for me. Been on tour, I've been making my money. Now I know that you really adore me, adore me. For those who no love me, no expect me to say sorry. Oh yeah, make you know about me, make you shake that booty for me, for me. Walk, walk, be one down. Oh, the Lord do going. It's me bad, I know it. Walk, walk, go see story. Walk, walk, be one down. Oh, the Lord do going. It's me bad, I know it. Walk, walk, go see story.
Come on.
No, Jazzy is crazy.
3 songs at the same time on the same day. The guy trended globally for the second time.
I got something to remind you. Tell me one day I'm a bushing and my God go find you.
Ah,
Oh,
let's
wow.
have that today.
The Moits
come on.
website shut down that day. It
Bro,
shut down. It crashed.
Bro, the whole place scattered.
Bro.
He dropped these 3 songs after a long hiatus. After you know what happened with the whole nude photo going leaking. You know, he went off the planet. He went
Off the
3
radar,
songs on the same day. These 3 songs on the same day. You know, that time some other people were coming up. Chudike, what's his name? The other guy that was in Chudike's set. I've
Was it
forgotten.
Lala?
One other guy. His name started with R or something. You know, if we were doing that. My guy, 3 songs like this on the same day, shut down everywhere.
Everything hits.
Global trend on Twitter. Global. The guy said it now.
joking,
I've trended twice. Yeah. Global trend on Twitter. Do you know how it is to go global on Twitter in
Back then,
2010 from Nigeria? Global. The whole place shut down. Everybody shut down. Nobody was talking about anything apart from one day call. Shut down. And you dropped 3 bangers like this. The whole 3 songs were bangers. Back to back to back. So you look at a record like this and you're just like, this is one of the greatest comebacks.
Yeah, one day came back. Fine for.
This is my
Fine
number
for.
1 comeback. This is my sorry.
3
This is my own
bangers.
number 1 comeback.
One day, now you don't know why you come up from Mohi, so I've been amazing. I'm sorry. I have to say it. I have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people grow, people move on. People
I
grow,
don't know
people
about-
move on.
I don't know about growing musically, sha, but
Hey, yo. Some
moving
people
on
are
is fine.
Yeah, let's just move on. Let's just move on. The Grammys released published an article rather, and it's a list. They are talking about the evolution of Afrobeat in 10 songs from African Queen to Ozeba. It says from its popularization in the mid 2010s to current global. Wow, the popularization of
Wow.
Afrobeats. Wow. Well, and from their own eyes, they will look at it from the mid 2010s. That's when the Wiz and Davido's, picked up
Yeah.
and burners. So it's from their own perspective, it's okay. Chart-topping dominance like the likes of Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Rema, the sounds of Afrobeats is constantly shifting. So they give us 10 songs that show the evolution of Afrobeats. The first is African Queen by Baba in 2004.
Goat.
Yep. Do Me by P Square in 2007. Yep, undeniable. Bumper to Bumper by One Day Cole in 2009. Yep, undeniable. Pon Pon Pon, like what's the name of that guy? Mike. I have to now look for that video. What's the guy's name? If I find the name, I can find the video. What was his name? Mike.
Who is
Let me
that?
just say. You guys don't know that guy. That guy that was in Big Brother.
I don't know the guy in Big Brother.
The guy, the British guy now in Big Brother. You know him now. That now hosted the Coke studio, the thingy they were doing with Budweiser.
Oh. Hey, his name has disappeared from my head. Hey, his name has disappeared from my head.
Oh, well, I'm looking for it. Budweiser songs mix stuff. Remix. I'll find it now. Don't worry. Now me, I'll go find them.
Oh, the athlete now. Steve, you go know the guy now. The former the
Steve,
guy where
they
they
do
do
like
log
saying no,
jump.
no.
The guy where they do
Steve,
log jump for
And the
Nigeria.
name now, the guy that he has like these kids are disturbing me here.
It's fine. But I'm going to look for it. I'm going to YouTube now. I'm going to type Budweiser remix pon, and it's going to come out.
Mike Edwards. Is it Mike
Is his
Edwards?
name Mike? Mike. Everybody's calling Mike.
Yeah,
Mike is the
Edwards.
name now.
Yeah, they had a show.
Yeah, the Budweiser stuff. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
the Budweiser show, right?
So that's what he said. Pom.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's what the guy Budweiser. And I'm going to find that specific one. Don't worry, guys. I will find it for you. It's me. I will find it. It will take me a while, but we can be talking about something else. But I will
Yeah, the
find
list.
that video for you. Yeah, I mean that list is popping. Yes. Blah,
After
blah, blah.
Pom, then Azonto, Fuse ODG, 2014.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair
Yes.
enough. Let's give our Ghanaian brothers, love. Ojolegba by Wizkid.
Mm-hmm.
Mad Over You by Runtown. Maradona by Niniola. Sungba by Ashake. And Ozeba by Rema. Those are the songs.
I'm looking at that list now. Where did we go? We went to Azonto, went to Jolegba, okay. Mad Over You, okay. Maradona, okay. Sungba, Ashake. Yeah, and Ozeba. It's a nice list to show.
It's a nice
show.
list.
It's not a bad list though.
It's a nice list. I like it.
It's a good list. It's a good list.
It's
And
a
I think
good list.
Nigerian wrote it. So yeah, shout out to them.
Who wrote it? Let me see. It's a good list to show an evolution. To me, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's nice actually.
Yes, written by Melanie Akpogene.
Akpogene. Yeah.
Shout out to Melanie Akpogene. She's a contributor to the Grammy.com website.
Yeah. Not a bad
Grammy
list.
website. Yeah, I'm checking her out now. Melanie Akpogene is a writer, researcher, and she's in marketing and comms. Currently works for Bounce Networks as a music/pop culture writer. I think it's a very nice list. Not a bad list.
It's a very good list. It's a very good list.
I don't know what to change in this list.
They're green.
You think that green shouldn't be there?
It's a rap. That's rap now.
Okay, in terms of like Afrobeats, right? But if you look at it critically, right?
It's still Afrobeats.
It's really the Afrobeat culture.
It inspires a list, like a whole version of.
So I think the way she explained it was like for street pop. Yeah, so we could be lenient and give it that shot. Yeah.
I'm fine with the list. Shout out to Melanie.
It's a very good list, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a very good list. I enjoyed it.
And when you just bounce, is it bounce? Is it bounce that Ebuka used to do?
Yes, it's that bounce. It's that bounce.
That interview is coming back again, right? With Burna Boy.
Yeah, Damini. Hey, I'll be on the front seat.
Yeah.
I'll be in front seat.
Hopefully Ebuka.
Not looking forward
to it. Does a good job. Why are you not looking forward to it?
Let's
I'm not looking forward to the green. I said the green, but to Burna Boy. Yeah, it doesn't speak. His interviews carry no.
How many of them have good interviews?
Yeah, all of them. Like Davido is the only one I can manage because he's always just having a nice time. They are not articulate. They don't also show any like thought process into their music or like anything. It's very hidden or it's just very. To be honest, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad
to be
because
fair to them,
I'm not
I
looking
think
to
the interviewers in recent time have not done a good job of making these artists talk and like picking their interest and just really getting them to say like the things that you want them to say, or just like really articulate their thought process in terms of music, in terms of the albums and stuff like
when
that.
They do not respond properly. You go and watch interviews when they say, so what's the top, it's just there in the studio, we just vibe to it. Because they think they're copying their foreign counterparts where they speak. They need to understand that, like, so A-list Nigerian artists need to understand that they are contemporaries in terms of like America. They shouldn't stop. They should not be looking at them like Lil Yachty. Like
it's not
you should
those,
look at
not those.
your contemporaries like Beyonce and Ed Sheeran.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
And the
Ed
way
Sheeran.
those ones will have interviews is how you should have interviews. But they keep thinking Nigerian artists
Is the
keep
regular
thinking
is Young
like
Thug?
it's all fun because I'm wearing chain
Yeah.
jewelries and caps and everything. And that means I need to also translate how I speak or what I say in that format as well. Do you understand what I mean?
I insist is the conversation. It's the
Yeah.
people driving the conversation. It's not the artist.
I've seen
Or Sags. No artist is coming on loose talk,
bro, literally,
and not
literally,
having good conversations.
Literally, it was who was interviewing Burna Boy, wasn't it Zeloy?
Bro, come on now.
No, he asked.
But Zane doesn't have whack interviews now. As part
My
of
brother,
it's
don't
not
worry
whack.
yourself.
Wait, I'm going Zane
Don't
Lowy.
bother yourself.
It's not Zane Lowy.
Zane Lowy does not know Burna enough to have a very good conversation with Burna Boy. He's going to be on a surface level,
let's wait
trying
for the Ebuka
to
one.
speak to
This
his
is a
own
44 minutes.
audience.
This place is very sentimental for me because
Bro, this
started
interview is
from
annoying.
PlayStation.
I listen to it.
Things.
Exactly.
It's annoying.
It's hard to explain it to young people, but if they can find something that makes their heart beat faster and focus on it.
Exactly, and that's kind of where music came in for me,
When did this come in?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Nah, this one right here.
Dude, this plays a big part on this album, man. I feel like this is part of the DNA of this new album.
Yeah, man. This is like everything my spirit is in one vinyl.
Is it because...
What the fuck was that? Zane Lowy shows you a Wu-Tang entered the 36 Chambers album that inspired how you made your album. You take samples from there. You have Jizza on your album. You have RZA in the video of one of the songs of your album, and you're telling me this is all split and you're rubbing your belly. The fuck are you talking about? Like they can't articulate themselves.
You know why?
You're giving credence to these guys who can't because they are musicians and they make music doesn't mean they can articulate themselves. Files will articulate himself rather. I'm not looking for Wiz, Davido, Bonner. Look at Rema on Breakfast Club. Articulates, very calm tone. He built a persona around it and articulated himself and passed his message. And look at all these guys. These guys don't know what to say. Vibes, bro. Did you hear Shay Vibes? Who was the guy that interviewed Shay Vibes recently? Like, I can't even believe Empire took fucking Shay Vibes to do an interview, knowing fully well this guy is not articulate. He now tries sounding as if he was from New York or Atlanta and looked like a fool. I'm going to look for it. No, I'm going to look for that interview.
Steve, you don't find trouble now.
Shay Vibes interview. No, you must watch it.
The videos interview are not bad. Are not as
Shay
bad.
Vibes,
right? Yeah. All right. Shay Vibes. I like all that jewelry, man. Shit. I need to get some money like this guy. Are we rolling? Bootleg Kev, we here, man. Nigeria in the building, man. Shay Vibes is here, Real 92.3. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing amazing.
You were nominated last year. This year you're hanging out. Is this your second BET weekend?
Yeah, this is my second time at the BET.
There's a problem. It's a problem. Even you're trying to get like, what the fuck is Empire doing taking Shay Vibes to talk to Kev Bootleg? Bootleg Kev, like, what the fuck? Do you understand? So you are right on that point. There might be some disconnect. Do you understand? With who you are taking to?
Yeah, it's one of
because these guys feel more relaxed when they go and meet Adesope Olajide.
Yep.
Yes.
Even on Adesope Olajide, some are not, still, but Adesope knows how to get but Adesope does the work. He does overtime trying to get these guys because he's really good and he goes overtime.
And that's why he's over complimentary of them in interviews. He has to really massage their ego.
Thank you, and get them to that point.
And get them to that point to
these
talk.
These guys are not. They don't know what to say. Do you understand?
Guys, first of all, you know that what Steve just said now. Someone like Burna Boy cannot come on Loose Talk and say, let's have an interview. Because, bro...
No. We can't tackle what we'll tackle now.
Funny enough, there doesn't need to be a tackling interview. But on the Burna Boy interview, I've not watched the Burna Boy interview.
Especially if he's not going to be honest with a lot of his responses, there will be a lot of confrontation. There's that records. People can go and watch the MI interview. Like their records. I don't understand.
You put people on the spot, actually.
People are known. Exactly. You put people on the spot. So
Do you know a legendary Nigerian artist wanted to come on Loose Talk, but he was scared that because of the level of question we were going to give him, he said no.
Which artist is that?
I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
Yeah. The manager.
What level of question? You just need to be honest. Why did we have issue with MI on it? He was not just being honest. He was just lying.
I don't drop.
He's not being honest. And that's that.
Oh, I remember. It's true. I remember.
I can't remember this one. Do you understand? Like, if you come to let me tell you, you know why that MI podcast just went, and it's years ago. I don't want to talk about this because me and MI, we've moved on. We've become friends and everything. But like, I just felt like, I know you. This representation of what you are doing is not you. Can you be honest? You know, and that was where the whole thing just blew out from and everything. But hey, man, it is what it is. For me, Sha, I don't enjoy a lot of interviews, but the ones I enjoy, like Steve mentioned, right? Like a files, wherever is going to be, is going to be able to explain the process. Do you understand? But here's the thing, right? Funny enough, like Postmoral Instruction, when he dropped those 2 albums before he dropped this album, I didn't watch any interview. Because I really want you to then explain the process on how you made a shitty album. That's because those are the most interesting interviews.
Yes.
When Common is talking about Electric Circus, I want to listen the most because everybody doesn't like the album. So how did you get there? What was the process?
What led you there?
Tell me, you know. But you're right. We don't have too many.
Also, I don't think we have interviews. Great interviewers.
Look at the rollout now. He was on what? He was on Diary of a Nigerian Black Girl.
Don't remind me, please.
And what's the name of the one?
Fowls.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he did an interview there, and then he did another interview. Did he do the interview with you? You understand? And you already know what CVT is going to do.
There's one podcast there that I hate. If I see any Nigerian artist on it, I skip immediately. I do not even watch it.
Who's that?
It's a UK babe, a UK Nigerian babe. That's all I can tell you.
Oh, the one that came here that figured out that she didn't have level.
Yes. Bro,
hey, why don't you to call her name? What's her
she
name?
has, but she has a niche. I don't know why people. I enjoyed the interview with Skepta's sister.
Obviously, because they adore her now. They worship her in the UK now. Obviously.
No, but you see, Steve has a point. She does have a niche for the kind of audience that wants to watch.
Bro, the audience, exactly.
Now, am I going to judge? Am I going to judge the audience in my mind? Oh yes.
I will judge the audience. Why would I not judge the audience?
You understand? Because I would judge. Of course, I'm judging the audience. What does Steve take me for? The Pope. Of course, I'm judging. Do you understand? Like, so for me, I'm going to judge and say, like, but she does have an audience.
Oh, you have an audience, so because people go there. It's part of a rollout.
Exactly.
I'm not even hitting on that. So I can't
exactly. It's part of like the Charlie Poppy interview. It was nice. Yeah. I would expect Charlie Poppy to go there. It's fun. It's nice because you have to see at the end of the day, right?
Poppy's level, yeah.
At the end of the day, right? You have to once you're going on a media tour, you have to cover all forms
of
because it's different audience. And then when you get into that space, you then take on the content formats and the content type of that space.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like how a new album is coming out, a movie is coming out. You go to talk shows. Talk shows is featherweight.
Exactly. It's just to introduce you to a very broader audience. It's like white America pop, like it's like family oriented. You just come and joke.
You go to
for example, my favorite, like for my top rappers. Like I want to meet my top rappers, like the rappers I love, I respect, like the Jay-Z's and the 50 Cents. My most favorite interview of them, apart from like the real hip hop interviews, like a Breakfast Club or a Drink Champs, is when they go on late night TV with Jimmy Kimmel or
that's when I know that
Jimmy Fallon.
Or Jimmy Fallon. That's when you know you are intelligent in terms of your humor, your sense of humor, the way you are funny, delivery. Your responses. Bro, it's the best. Just go and watch Jay-Z on David Letterman. Interesting conversation. Watch 50 Cent on Steve. What's this Steve guy? There's this Stephen Stephen Colbert. Like the responses, the humor, like these guys are really, really smart and intelligent. And that's why they differentiated themselves in the business world as rappers. That's why Jay-Z is different. 50 Cent is different. These guys are dealing with corporate America.
A Jay-Z interview is classic. You have to sit down.
Classic. So it's every interview has like their own perspective and their whole audience and
True that,
you
Sha.
know,
True
just
that.
your ability to weave through it. That's what sets you apart as a good someone who can articulate themselves and have good
But
conversations.
anyhow,
I've never enjoyed a Burna Boy conversation. Never. I've never seen a Burna Boy interview. I'm like, oh,
never.
bro, I'm really going in. I've enjoyed the video conversations because he's very free, has fun, and the video has diverse experiences. He was born in Atlanta, he grew up in Nigeria, schooled in Atlanta. The music conversations, like the video has diverse experiences, so he's able to articulate those experiences in conversations about it, and I enjoy them very much. Rema is someone who's like really, really deeply rooted. He grew up in Benin. You don't grow up in Benin and not have sense. He's very street smart. He's
worldly too. He knows things
exactly
about the
and
world.
he knows things about the world exactly, and he's also religious in the way he grew up. So there's a deepness to him too that he articulates very well. So I enjoy those conversations. But the rest, to Osage's points, it's been difficult for me to really listen. Yeah.
They should just go.
Remember, all through this, my whole conversation. Remember, I avoided one name, but I know.
I beg. Which I noticed. I beg. Let us move on. Thank you.
I found it, guys. I told you I'll find it.
What? The pom.
I'm telling you. Let me. I just need to find the exact place, but I need to listen to it.
Let's meet today's performers. Today, we shall be celebrating legacy, the ingenuity and creativity that has transformed the Nigerian hip-hop sound and paved the way for today's kings. I'm super excited about the show today, and so should you. Go on, grab a bud, and let's meet today's performers. Welcome back to the Budweiser Smooth King Remix Show. It is the D-Day, the last performance of the season, and of course, we had to make it a super special one.
I'm going to find it. I'm sorry, guys. I need to just. Oh, I think I got it.
Out yet.
How they are bringing their swag to their performance today, and after that, it's showtime. Who was a trailblazer by every metric.
All right, I got it.
Today's
I got it,
classic
guys.
is a series of pronouncements by an artist who was a trailblazer by every metric. His claims were 1, that he had no peers as a lyricist, 2, that he paid his dues in the game, and 3, that he was a Nigerian through and through. This song was a game changer for Yoruba hip hop, revolutionizing the Nigerian rap game and paving the way for MCs to mix their native dialects in their music. This song proved that a great song has universal appeal no matter what language it is delivered in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Ladipo and Black Bones, here to perform Pun 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 by The Grin.
What the hell?
I don't think you guys heard it. Let me play it again.
Perform Pun 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 by The Grin. Ladipo and Black Bones, here to perform Pun 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 by The Grin.
Oh my goodness. That was a good one. Pun, pun, pun.
The guy massacred that. What the fuck was that, bro?
Pun, pun, pun. All right. Okay, man. All right, man. Okay, last news and we're out of here. Tems, Big Tems, aka T Unit, has launched Leading the Vibe to bridge the gender gap in music. All right, the Grammy Awards is reporting. No. Ayo, you did a fucked up.
Oh, sorry. The link did not.
You did a
click.
fucked up hyperlink. No, you did a
Oh, sorry.
fucked up.
My bad.
You
Sorry, my
hyperlinked
bad.
something else. Anyways, Tems has launched an initiative which is dedicated to young African women between the ages of 18 to 35 who aspire to professionally enter the creative aspects of the music industry. Round of applause to T Unit for that one.
T Unit.
All right. As a matter of fact, drop a bomb for her. All right. This is what I talk about. You guys already know how passionate I am. When people succeed in a certain space, what they need to do. All right. I mean, it's not compulsory. You don't need to do it. It's fine. But I like when people then use their privilege for something else to help people out, to build a platform where other people can connect, and be given a leg up, in their respective fields. I think this makes a lot of sense. I saw the announcement. Shout out to her. Shout out to the team as well. And everybody on our team. And I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. And I like how they've stated it as creative aspects and not just necessarily music. So whether you want to be an instrumentalist, you want to be an engineer, you want to be
songwriter.
For Tems, right? She produces herself. She does some of those things even before singing. So I like stuff like that in creative space. And hey, man, there's a budget. Why not go for it? This will inspire the next generation of people to look at how Chadwick Boseman. It was Denzel that was instrumental
for his film school.
Instrumental in his career, and there are so many examples like that. So I like that. While other people want to buy 3.5 billion naira cars, which they should, and drive them on badly made roads,
that get flooded.
That's very okay. Other people want to buy chains that their necks can't carry. That's okay as well. But I do appreciate that some people take out the time to do something.
Invest in the future, invest in the next generation.
And credit to her, because I've always thought about it that like Nigerian women in contemporary music, and it's not a fault of theirs, because they also, as women in the industry, they have a lot of battles and challenges that they have to fighting through. But I don't think they did enough to bring up other women from in the ladder. And you think about like our biggest female stars, who like look at their back, who was like the female pop star, or female rapper, or female creative that was behind them. I can't mention any of them. So credit to them. She just keeps doing the right thing, man. I don't know how they just do it. Just keep ticking the right boxes, and it's just amazing to see.
Stay off drug, guys. Stay off drugs,
the way
guys.
you say these things and you're just smiling, you're like, you sound like piss me off, man.
A US drug.
And to your own chain, your chain conversation on buying cars, and it's also important, and not just women. Like anytime I see great people doing things, I just look behind them to see who's behind you, like who are you bringing up, and I also like do a lot of shout out. That's one of the problems I have with Two-Face in terms of when I'm defining his legacy, to say who was just behind him. I didn't see anybody. He tried to push Dami Crane with Hypertech later on, but that didn't work.
He didn't push Dami Crane. Dami Crane was signed to 960 Music.
Yeah.
Well, but he was screaming Hypertech on the record.
All that stuff is just bula bula bulu bulu.
They needed Hypertech.
Signed to 960 Music now. So there was a deal with what the fuck? No.
You guys, I wasn't informed.
who did Two-Face sign and say maybe Rocksteady?
There's nobody. Rocksteady was also very talented.
Yeah, but Blackface will even tell you he took Rocksteady away from him.
Blackface always has a story.
So that is also like a problem I have with some of them, because like look at it, look at Jay-Z, look at some of our biggest guys in rap that like look at what they did with the
push Fendi like fentanyl.
I'm telling you, so it is what it is.
Okay, so new projects out, and Benson has a new project out. Captain, people are saying it sounds monotonous on the stuff, but I need to listen to it. I haven't listened. I don't like the album cover. What's that album cover? What's that? Looks like some AI stuff. Can do better. But I've listened to the album. But somebody put up 2 songs. Oh, someone said it was monotonous. He quoted the person and said, "You give the person $1,000 if it proves it was monotonous." And then the guy put 2 different songs, and the songs had the same melody, different rhythm, but like the same melody.
Twitter always finding out.
All right, Ayomaf has his album Prince of the Street. What's his first album? Is this his debut? What was the first?
I think this is his debut.
No, Mafian wasn't. Yeah, he had the first album. I listened to.
He had the first album.
Yep. Ayomaf.
Wasn't that an EP?
No, that's the one that has Dealer now. Ayomaf.
Guys, we're waiting for Malay. That's what we're waiting for.
Yes, now Mafian. That's the name of the first. Okay, you want to call it an EP? That's fine. Anyways, he had a project called Mafian. But yeah, this is Prince of the Streets. I listened to it. It's nice. Goes in some pockets. Sometimes it sounds like the same, same thing.
Yeah.
Mommy,
I like how he did the tribute to Olamide with Yemi My Lover. How he flipped Yemi My Lover. Yeah, I like that one.
He flipped it a bit. Yes, I like that. Good Girl LA has a new EP. She's first of all, shout out to Good LA. Welcome back. It's got a new project called Good Girl. I think she's with what's his name, Andre Vibes now. So there's some budget there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some budget there, so shout out to him. AQ has a new album called GE3, The Beginning. I
Yeah,
see
boss.
you did a video on the series
Yes, I
and wrote
did.
an article on it as well.
Yeah. Wonderful album. If you love rap music, listen to this. It's a completion of the trilogy by AQ. And if you know AQ delivers quality rap music. So if you love quality rap music, this is the one for you. This is the ending. We hope this is the ending. We hope AQ doesn't do Lil Wayne and give us God's Engineering.
But you know what all these rappers say now when they say it's my last
No.
project. Do you really
No, I don't
believe
believe this. No, I believe this is the last God Engineering, but I don't believe AQ's last album. No, that was a lie.
Okay.
Come on.
So there won't
That
be
was
any
a
God's
lie.
Engineering 4.
No, we don't want, because Lil Wayne has shown us that if you hang your boots when it is time, just let it go, foul. Yeah.
Let it go.
But
Let
if
it
you
go.
want-
Let
if
it
you
go.
love
Let
rap
it
music,
go.
that's the one for you. Yeah.
Yeah, let it go. Then Olamide, of course, has a new album, self-titled, or what do they call
Yeah?
it? Epinomos. Is that what they call it?
Did you see that tweet? One of these
No, which
music Twitter handles
Yeah.
said Olamide has released his eponymous album.
Yeah.
If you see the comments on that, they say, bros, what's it concern Epon for? Why are you mentioning his Epon?
Oh my God. Yeah, called Olamide. Olamide is in Olamide, like I've told you, in the Snoop Dogg era. It's vibes, it's good vibes, it's chill music. Vibe to
There are
it,
two singles
man.
I like there, sir. I like
like
two
Lover
singles.
Lover Me.
Yeah, that one. And
The one we
the
played last
second one with Wizkid. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to
But the Good
shout
Girl
out to-
LA EP, that's one of the best EPs this year.
Mm.
The girl sabi work. She sabi the work. She's good.
Mm.
She's good.
All right, so I guess we so next week is Farm Mill, according to Steve.
Yeah.
Next week is
Yep.
Farm Mill. So you
That
guys
my
write
post
in, there's a
duty.
lot to talk about. So yeah, we will be reading your Farm Mills. And tell us, do you guys want a separate Farm Mill episode or do you want it included in the episodes? Anyways, we're going to leave you guys with Bust It, one of the singles of Good Girls LA Project,
Yeah.
titled Good Girl, I believe.
Yes.
Good Girl.
This is a loaded
Alright.
song. So guys, listen to it. All right.
Yes, I think it's a coming out record too. Everybody's coming
Shout out to
you
everybody.
know.
Shout out to everybody.
Yeah, shout out to everybody, all the happy boys and happy girls. Shout out. All right, man. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. Toodaloo.
Peace out.
She want me to bust it, yeah, I wanna bust it, you know. Yeah.
I should've gave it up and let you go, but I got a big ego. I want the love, I shouldn't get the most, cause it's all about my ego. I know your man, he don't wanna go, but it kinda made me want you more. It's like you're watching when I'm fucking you. You say you want it, so I want it too. Oh. She don't wanna be with nobody else. Anytime I leave, she go, they cry. Oh, and it turn me on, I can't deny the way she put it down on me. It make me wanna post it. I wanna post it. I wanna post it. She gotta come through, cause all I wanna do is post it. I wanna post it, and she wanna post it. Baby, all I wanna do is post it. I wanna post it. I wanna post it. She gotta come through, cause all I wanna do is post it. I wanna post it, and she wanna post it. Baby, and it's so sad he can never make you come. I swear down, this nigga be so dumb. Oh, what? It's a waterfall when I slide through her love, and she can't even walk when I'm done. I wanna send her my location. Should've come sit on my face. Come here, let's see how the grades are. Okay, should've come say my name, cause she never had a love like this. She don't wanna be with nobody else. Anytime I leave, she go, they cry.